Live from Idaho Central Arena in Boise, Idaho, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the second of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here on a Saturday night. It's the second of a three-game and three-day two-city series between the Grizzlies and the Steelheads, and the Grizz lost a heartbreaker last night, 3-2 in overtime. Idaho scored exactly 1 minute into the game as Robbie Holmes got a second of the year. Idaho led 1-0 after one period, despite the fact that the Grizzlies outshot the Steelheads 20-10. In Utah's first shift of the second period, it was Tyler Gratton getting his second of the year. The two Lukes, Manning and Salem, each picked up an assist, and the score was tied at 1 after 40 minutes of play. Stepan Timofeyev scored a power play goal 8.5 minutes into the third period, and Utah was hoping that would be the game winner. Timofeyev scored on a great pass from Griffin Ness, and it stayed a 2-1 game until Idaho had a power play and they had their net open. 6-on-4 with Idaho's net empty, and it was Mitch Wall from the right point that helicoptered one past Dylan Wells and past the goal line to tie it up. And that was certainly a heartbreaker for the Grizzlies. There was just 55 seconds left in regulation. Utah ended up getting a late third period power play after that, and they started overtime with the man advantage 4-on-3. But Utah looked like Reed Lepster fell down, and then Idaho came down with a puck. Connor Punnett skated down the middle of the ice, fired towards Dylan Wells, and it bounced off of Wells, and Jade Miller picked up a rebound and put it in the back of the net to give Idaho a 3-2 overtime victory. And it's kind of interesting to think about the Utah pro hockey teams. Grizzlies lost 3-2 in overtime at home, and the Utah Mammoth lost 3-2 in overtime at home to the New York Islanders. And in junior hockey, the Ogden Mustangs lost in overtime 3-2. So I guess it just wasn't meant to be for the Utah teams last night, but Grizzlies are looking for a little bit of revenge here this evening against Idaho. It's the next to last game that the Grizzlies will ever have here at Idaho Central Arena. We have an interesting goaltending matchup tonight. Kyle Kaiser is going to get the start for Utah. It's his second start in a Grizzlies uniform. He picked up a 29-save shutout on November 7th as the Grizzlies defeated Wichita 2-0. And for the Idaho Steelheads, it's certainly a familiar name. That's right, Jake Barcheski, the former Grizzly, is going to make his Steelheads debut tonight. He'll be wearing number 33 for Everett Sheen's crew. Barcheski started the year in the uniform of the Bloomington Bison, and then he was traded from Bloomington to the Utah Grizzlies in exchange for Dryden McKay. The next day, in terms of a salary cap clearing move, Barcheski was released by the Grizzlies, and Idaho in need of a good goaltender released Nolan Meyer, and they picked up Jake Barcheski. And Barcheski is going to make his Grizzlies debut. The O'Fallon, Missouri native, played in 40 games for the Grizzlies last season. He led Utah in victories, and he had a .909 save percentage, and he really was outstanding after Christmas. About the last 3 months of the regular season, Barcheski really picked it up and played good hockey for the Grizzlies. So it should be an interesting one here at Idaho Central Arena. It looks like we're going to have a pretty full crowd here. Capacity is just over 5,200, and they're expecting a sellout here at Idaho Central Arena. Well, one bit of roster movement that happened earlier today is forward Neil Shea was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Shea's got a goal in 4 of his last 5 games for Utah, and Shea is part of a 3-way tie for the club lead with 8 points. Reed Lepster's got 5 goals and 3 assists, and Tyler Gratton has 2 goals and 6 assists. Gratton has a point in 3 straight games, and Neil Shea, after last night's game, had 4 goals and 4 assists, and he was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today. So the Grizzlies are rolling with 17 skaters. Ty Voigt was placed on reserves, and we will see Rylan Kovacevic come back to the Grizzlies lineup as he is back after serving a 3-game suspension. And for the Idaho Steelheads, Ty Pelton-Bice is back after serving a 9-game suspension. When we come back, we'll go over some more stats and storylines as face-offs in about, I'd say, 15 minutes from now here at Idaho Central Arena. Face-off at 7:10 in the Mountain Time Zone. We'll talk some hockey on the other side. We're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 15 minutes from now as the Grizzlies are here at Idaho Central Arena for 2 games. Tonight at 7 o'clock and Sunday afternoon, it will be a 4 p.m. start. And it's interesting, the Grizzlies haven't played on a Sunday here in Idaho since November 5th of 2006. There's been a couple of Grizzlies players who have been hot as of late. How about Tyler Gratton? He scored a second-period goal for the Grizzlies, and he has a point in 7 of his last 9 games. He is part of a 3-way tie for the club lead with 8 points. He has 2 goals and 6 assists, and the 6 helpers lead the club. And you think about Stepan Timofeyev. He scored the third-period goal on a power play and a great pass from Griffin Ness. Timofeyev has 6 points in his last 6 games, 2 goals and 4 assists. And if we're really talking about a line that's created quite a spark for the Grizzlies over the last 4 or 5 games, it's the forward line of Stepan Timofeyev along with Evan Friesen and Danny Genev. That 3-man unit has certainly been outstanding for Utah. They're looking forward to getting some good scoring opportunities here this evening. And Utah is going to get a little bit of a scoring punch out of Rylan Kovacevic, who's back after serving a 3-game suspension. And Idaho is certainly hoping for a boost from Ty Pelton-Bice, who's back after serving a 9-game suspension. And Idaho's power play struggled a little bit. They're 27th in the league at 11.8%. And they are certainly hoping that Ty Pelton-Bice can provide a little bit of a spark to Idaho's power play. Grizzlies are going with 10 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. It's the same 7 defensemen that we saw in last night's game. And if you missed the first segment, Neil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today. Well, we mentioned the goaltending matchup during the first segment. Kyle Kaiser, who had a 29-save shutout 8 days ago on November 7th against Wichita. He'll get the start for Utah. He's got 6 career shutouts. He had 3 in the American Hockey League with the Providence Bruins. The shutout with the Grizzlies was his second in the ECHL, and I keep forgetting about it. I think all 3 shutouts were at Providence. However, one of the 3 shutouts in the AHL was earlier this season with the Colorado Eagles. Not only has he played good hockey for the Grizzlies, albeit in just a 1-game sample size, but in 3 games with Colorado earlier this season, Kaiser was outstanding. He had 1 shutout and a record of 2-1 with a .937 save percentage and a 1.34 goals against average. It was just a numbers game as Trent Miner got sent to the Eagles after starting the season with the Avalanche. And once Mackenzie Blackwood got healthy, Miner got sent down, and that ended up with the numbers game. Kaiser coming here and playing and getting some playing time as opposed to being maybe the third goalie over with the Eagles. And so Kaiser, he looked really sharp in practice earlier this week, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play in person for the first time. And we obviously know Jake Barczewski on the other side. Barczewski played in 40 games with Utah last season, and he had a winning record for a team that struggled a little bit in the win-loss column. He was 16, 15, and 3 with a .902 save percentage, a 3.49 goals against average. Barczewski's in his second season as a pro. He played in 1 game earlier this season with the Bloomington Bison. It was a little bit of a struggle. He allowed 5 goals on 33 shots, and Bloomington picked up a loss that night, and that was on October 25th against Toledo. And obviously Toledo is one of the best offensive teams in the league. So Barczewski's going to be looking for a little bit of revenge against his former team, especially with the circumstance that happened just last week where the Grizzlies needed to, I think, clear up some salary cap space. And so they traded Dryden McKay to Bloomington for Barczewski, and Barczewski the next day was released, and looks like he's in a good spot here with Idaho. And the Steelheads got a good goaltending performance last night from Arno Tiffensee. He played pretty well, stopping 42 of 44. And the Grizzlies were outstanding, getting scoring chances in last night's game. The 44 shots the Grizzlies had last night were a season high. The previous high that the Grizzlies had was on opening night when they had 37 shots against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. So for the Grizzlies, they had plenty of chances, and they're looking for a lot of chances here tonight against Jake Barczewski and the Idaho Steelheads. Well, we're at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock up and down the Wasatch Front. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. It's the Grizzlies and the Steelheads, and we're in business on a Saturday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
It's the Grizzlies and the Idaho Steelheads. Face-off is in about 9 minutes from now here at Idaho Central Arena. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. The assistant coaches are Ryan Anderson and Jack Skilley. Utah's got a record of 4-5-2 on the season. They are 3-2-1 on the road, and they have more goals scored than goals against on the road this season, as Utah has outscored opponents 17-14 away from the friendly confines at Maverick Center. Getting the start in net will be Kyle Kaiser. It's his second start as a Grizzlies, a native of Coral Springs, Florida. 6'2", 198 pounds, 26 years old. He had a 29-save shutout against Wichita on November 7th. The backup goaltender this evening will be Dylan Wells. Grizzlies are going with 10 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. The starting defensive pairing includes Garrett Pike, who has 2 goals and 3 assists in 10 games. He'll be paired up with Christian Felton, who has 1 goal and 3 assists in 11 games. Felton is 6'1" and 185 pounds. He played his college hockey at Merrimack, and last season split time with the AHL's Abbotsford Canucks and the ECHL's Kalamazoo Wings. Luke Salem's going to be paired up with Noah Gansky. Salem, a Los Angeles native, and Gansky from Bloomington, Minnesota. Salem 5'10", 175 pounds. Gansky goes 6'7" and 209. Third defensive pairing is Aiden Hansen-Bukata, who's wearing number 20. He has 5 assists in 8 games, and 3 of those assists have come on the power play, and he's paired up with Connor Kelly, who's making his second appearance in a Grizzlies uniform, and he's playing in his 4th professional game. He had 2 games with the AHL's Colorado Eagles last season, and it sounded like, according to a tweet I saw just last night, it looked like he was coming off an injury with the Eagles. Kelly is 6'1" and 201 pounds out of Maple Grove, Minnesota. He played his college hockey at the University of Minnesota Duluth for 2 years and 3 seasons at Providence College. He was a positive in the plus-minus category in all 5 college seasons. During warm-ups, he talked with his former UMD Bulldogs college teammate Matt Anderson as they were at center ice. Anderson, one of 6 defensemen for the Steelheads this evening. And Sage Weinstein's going to be the 7th defenseman, a native of Edmonton, Alberta. He is just 20 years old, 6 feet and 187 pounds. The defensive scratches for the Grizzlies tonight are Colby Enns and Avery Winslow. So that's the 7 defensemen, with Pike and Felton getting the start. The starting forwards for the Grizzlies are their top forward line on John Buchanan's lineup card. From left to right, it's the captain, Tyler Gratton. He's lined up with Luke Manning, who has 1 goal and 2 assists in 11 games, and Reed Lepster, who's tied for the club lead with 8 points. He leads Utah with 5 goals on the season. Second forward line from left to right is Jack Ricketts, along with Griffin Ness and Rylan Kovacevic. Watch out for Ricketts. He seems to get good scoring chances every game. Third forward line has been the spark plugs of the Grizzlies, Stepan Timofeyev, along with Evan Friesen and Danny Genev, and John Gillette will be mixed in with the other forwards. He's the 10th forward, but he will see regular ice time. Gillette, who played his college hockey at Holy Cross, is a native of Middletown, New Jersey. So that's the 10 forwards for the Grizzlies, with Gratton, Manning, and Lepster getting the start. Now for the homestanding Idaho Steelheads, who are led by longtime head coach Everett Sheen. The assistant coach is Boise native Keenan Kelly. The equipment manager is Chris Bestel, the Beast. And the team president is Eric Trapp. Steelheads come in with a record of 6-5-1, but they have struggled here at home. They are just 1-3 at Idaho Central Arena. Getting the start in net, we talked about him during the pregame show. We'll probably talk about him all night. It's Jake Barczewski, who led Utah goaltenders with 40 games last year, and he had a .902 save percentage and a winning record of 16-15-3, despite the fact the Grizzlies struggled a little bit in the win-loss column. Arnold Tiefensee, last night's winning goaltender, who saved 42 of 44. He's the backup, and he might play tomorrow afternoon. The starting defensive pairing for Idaho includes Matt Anderson, who was a college teammate at UMD with Grizzly defenseman Connor Kelly, and he's paired up with Jake Boltman, who played his college hockey at Notre Dame and Northeastern. So that's the starting defensive pairing, Anderson and Boltman. We'll also see Sam Jardine paired up with Charlie Dodaro, and Aiden Hershuk paired up with Connor Punnett, who picked up an assist in overtime on Idaho's game winner. Starting forwards for the Steelheads include Ty Pelton-Bice, who's back after serving a 9-game suspension. Mitch Wall at some point this season picked up a 2-game suspension on a hit on Avery Winslow. Wall scored the game-tying goal with 55 seconds left last night. And Liam Malmquist is also going to get a start. Malmquist is a speedy 5'10 lefty out of Edina, Minnesota. So that's the starting forwards, Malmquist, Pelton-Bice, and Wall. That's the top forward line on Everett Sheen's lineup card. Second forward line is Francisco Arcuri along with Jordan Steinmetz and Nick Ports. Third forward line is Angus McDonnell. He's lined up with Brendan Hoffman, who has 5 goals and 4 assists this season, and Chris Dodaro, whose older brother Charlie Dodaro is an Idaho defenseman. Fourth forward line is the captain Nick Canati. He's lined up with last night's hero Jade Miller and Caleb Pearson, who in 7 games has 2 goals and 1 assist. Forward scratches for the Grizzlies. Actually, let's go over the scratches for Idaho. Jeff Baum is out along with Mason Nevers, Jaden Shields. Robbie Holmes, who scored a goal last night, is out of the lineup, and Grant Silanoff is also out for the Grizzlies. Their complete scratches, we mentioned Enns and Winslow are out. Adam Berg is out with a lower body injury. Neil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today, and Maxime Barbashev and Ty Voigt are also out of the Grizzlies lineup. Well, for my money, it's the best rivalry in the league. It's the Grizzlies and the Steelheads. Face-offs coming up next on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Great night for hockey as 2 big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads in the second of a 3-game series. Grizzlies are wearing a professional green jersey with white numbers, white lettering, black on the shoulders. It's the alternate jersey that the Grizzlies unveiled during warm-ups last night. They've got Kyle Kaiser in net. He picked up a shutout 8 days ago against the Wichita Thunder. It's his second game as a Grizzly. Idaho's wearing kind of a grayish, silverish looking jersey with black numbers, white trim. They've got Jake Barczewski in net, the former Grizzly, played in 40 games with Utah last season. Referee tonight is Nolan Bloyer. The linesmen are Randall Culver and Joshua Burkhart. Grizzlies will be skating from left to right as we see it from high atop section 202. In your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. Manning will take the draw against Ty Pelton-Bice, who had quite a few weeks off after serving a 9-game suspension. It's his first game back. Grizzlies win the draw. Christian Felton gets it ahead towards Lepster off his stick. Puck goes deep into the Steelhead zone. Jake Boltman, the Notre Dame and Northeastern product, rolls it over to the far side. Idaho taps it to neutralize, where it's taken back by Garrett Pike, and he'll slice along the boards. Barcheski lets it go to the right side. Lepster dances around in the right wing. He'll feed it up top to Felton. Felton fanned on a shot. Puck goes towards the right circle. Now it slides back towards Felton and neutralized. The whistle blows as Utah's offside as we get our first whistle 25 seconds into the game. Well, who's your pick to click? Who's going to get the job done for the Grizzlies this evening? Give me a tough choice. There's a lot of good options. I'm going with Rylan Kovacevic, who's a fresh body, who's back after serving a 3-game suspension. Grizzlies had the forward line of Timofeyev, Friesen, and Geneva. Who's your pick to click? As who's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies? Utah's got Kelly out there along with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. That's the defensive pairing. Connor Kelly in his second game of the Grizzlies. Hansen-Bukata left point. His shot sticked away as Geneva runs it down along the right wing boards. But getting there first is Liam Malmquist. Now turnover. Friesen freezes out in front. Now Geneva right side shot saved by Barcheski. Puck goes back to Idaho, and they'll flop it out to center ice. Bukata gets it, and he'll slide to Diz left for Geneva over the line. Geneva will tap it towards the left corner. Idaho chases after it. Friesen on a back check gets towards Pelton-Bice. Now Friesen right side got a stick held up. He'll tap it off the boards for Kelly in the right point. He'll fire righty shot, and it goes high and out of play off the protective netting. Off the stick of Liam Malmquist. So the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. 18:54 is the time remaining here in the first period. Well, thanks for joining us. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. Thanks for choosing the Grizzlies tonight. We're just getting underway, so grab some chips and dip in a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Saturday with us. Ness will take the drives out there with Kovacevic and Ricketts as Grizzlies with pretty quick shifts here so far tonight, getting everybody on the ice. Kovacevic and Ness battle with a Steelhead over in the corner. It's Aiden Hershuk, 2-on-2 battle. Puck kicks behind Idaho's net, and it's taken by Connor Punnett. Punnett will backhand it ahead. The puck bounces at center ice. Nick Ports. Steelhead came into the zone too quickly, and that was our Curry. Grizzlies come back, and we got a fight! Rylan Kovacevic and Connor Punnett. They both lock up. Kovacevic swings and misses. Punnett goes to town, 3 rights. Now an uppercut. And Kovacevic swings and misses, and Kovacevic drags down Connor Punnett. As we got a fight, 1:31 in. Connor Punnett raises his right arm to get the crowd fired up. Kovacevic will skate towards the penalty box as well. Fight near the center ice logo with Kovacevic for the Grizzlies and Connor Punnett for the Steelheads. As Kovacevic swung and missed, and then Punnett went to town with 3 rights and then an uppercut. Didn't look like he was really landing on any of those punches. And then Punnett got a right in, and Kovacevic dragged down Punnett. So the fans getting an early treat, 1:31 in. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. That's where the puck was when the whistle blew for the fight. Griffin Ness will take the draw against Jordan Steinmetz. Idaho's yet to fire away on Kyle Kaiser. Grizzlies had 44 shots in last night's game as Idaho has the puck at their line after winning the faceoff. Anderson will tap it back behind him for Jake Boltman. Boltman with a rink-wide feed towards his bench to Ports. Puck taps off 2 sticks. Taking it to our Curry. It slices off his stick. Stays into the zone with Anderson. Anderson back behind the net to Steinmetz, who rolls it back towards the far point. And it slides all the way deep towards Barcheski as the Grizzlies reshuffle the deck and get a fresh 5-man unit on the ice. And it's the same 5 that started the game. Anderson crosses center ice, gets around Miller, gets around Gratton, steps over the offensive line, but Kanadi was too eager to enter the offensive zone without the puck, so the Steelheads are offside with 17:53. That's the time remaining here in the first period. The forward line of Gratton, Manning, and Lepster have been productive. Gratton and Lepster each have 8 points on the season, and Manning scored his first goal of the year last Friday against Wichita, the game that Kyle Kaiser got the shutout in. Idaho wins the draw. Sam Jardine taps it in. Puck rolls along the left wing boards. Lepster gets engulfed by Jardine. Now the puck goes back to Felton. Felton behind Utah's net, loses control of the puck as Idaho will zip it up top to Jardine. He'll direct it to his right. Charlie Dodaro will tap one off of Gratton as action towards the near side. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Idaho from right to left. Felton will slide it towards Lebster. Lebster looks over his right shoulder, gets control of the puck. Now escape back towards Felton. Lebster around Utah's net to the far side, chips it to Pike. Pike will tattoo it off the boards. The puck hit the opposite center ice. Chasing after it's Manning. Puck off the boards. Lebster gets it at the Utah line. He'll sweep it over to Felton down the middle of the ice. Felton rink wide feed angle right off a Manning's stick, and it goes on to Idaho. Grizzlies have 3 players wearing the A's on their sweater this evening, and Tyler Gratton's the Grizzlies captain. Dumping it in for Idaho is Brendan Hoffman, a 6'3", 223-pound forward out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hoffman off his stick as puck slides towards the left wing. Hershuk centers it, taking his Ports. Ports gets a backhand attempt. Too much traffic out in front of Kaiser. Grizzlies zip it around the boards near side. It goes out to center ice. Idaho resets. 3.5 minutes in, still no score. Both teams have 1 shot. Boltman dumps it in. Kaiser behind his net. He'll whip it around the boards. It's cut off on the right point. Now righty shot goes wide. That shot was taken by Brendan Hoffman. Genev races across center ice 3-on-3 over the offensive line. He'll throw it to his left as Friesen centers it towards Timofeyev, who just got a stick in the way. And the puck bounces at center ice. Genev runs it down to the Utah line. Idaho will switch up forwards. Grizzlies spread the ice in their own zone. Sage Weinstein in his first shift of the game ahead to Timofeyev off his stick at center ice. And the puck rainbows deep into the Idaho zone. We played 4 minutes. Still no score. Both teams have taken 1 shot. Idaho out towards neutral ice. Now they cross center ice down the middle. Mitch Wall gets it tapped away. Puck goes to the right wing. Lefty shots blocked before it gets towards Kaiser. Wall spins around with Weinstein, the 20-year-old. 3-on-3 scrum behind Utah's net. Actually, with only 2 Steelheads there as Grizzlies come out of the puck. Ricketts ahead towards Timofeyev. Back to Ricketts, who had to jump over a Steelhead. Puck slides deep in the Idaho zone. Steelheads come up with it. Utah switches up forwards, and with Kovacevic in the penalty box, Utah's down to just 9 forwards. Anderson gets around Gillette. Now Anderson left wing. He'll fire a sharp angled shot that's snapped away by Felton's stick. Pike gets it towards the far corner, leaves it for Ness. Grizzlies start the attack. Ricketts across center ice, steps over the offensive line. We get a whistle as John Gillette was pushed into the Idaho zone before Ricketts was able to come in with the puck. So Utah's offside, but 15-14 left in the first. If you're joining us late, forward Neil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today. Shea's got 4 goals and 4 assists on the year. And so with that, the Grizzlies have 17 skaters this evening. Utah wearing their professional green alternates for the first time. They wore those during warm-ups in last night's game. Puck into the Idaho zone after Utah won the faceoff. Now Curry will drag it out to center ice. He'll cross the center red line and dump it in. Felton chases after it. He got a stick tap by Charlie Dodaro. Felton and Pike battle with 2 Steelheads behind Kaiser's net. Pike comes out of the pile with the puck, and he'll tap it backhand style over to Lebster. Lebster across center ice 3-on-3. He'll dump it in as Ports on the back check interfered with him a little bit. Now Lebster right side, take a shot, saved by Barcheski. Those 2 were teammates last season. Bucata back around the net for Manning. Manning and Lebster are each familiar with Barcheski. As Lebster fires towards the net, saved by Barcheski. Rebound goes past Gratton. Idaho gets it, and they'll move it out to center ice. Dancing around is Francisco Arcuri. He's got good speed. Arcuri down the middle of the ice, across the center red line, veers off to the right. He'll drop it off to Steinmetz. Steinmetz trying to find a cutting Caleb Pearson out in front. It goes wide of him. Now puck back up top. Boltman dances to his right of fire, righty shot. Glove saved by Kaiser. And the Utah goaltender holds on with 14-12 left in the first. So both teams have had some good chances here early on. Grizzlies have outshot the Steelheads 3-2. Utah on average has taken exactly 30 shots per game, and they allow 31. Steelheads have taken 33.4 shots per game, and they allow 31.8. Grizzlies dominated the shot count in all 3 periods last night. Nick Canati, the Idaho captain, skates around Kaiser's net, now towards the left corner. Gansky will pitch it out towards Salem. Salem to Genev on the right side. Genev gets a good hip check from Canati as dancing around. And we're going to get a penalty on Idaho as Salem got held up about neck high. Whistle blows as Idaho touches up. Holding's going to be the call, and Utah will be on the power play for the first time tonight when we come back as Caleb Pearson goes to the box. 2 minutes for holding. 13:48 left in the first. Still no score. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies have outshot the Steelheads 3-2. Utah will be on the power play. They are 16.3% on the power play this season. They were 1 for 6 last night. Power play starts in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from Les. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from Les.
13:48 is the time remaining here in the first period. Caleb Pearson's in the box, 2 minutes for holding. Rylan Kovacevic is still in the box for Utah, serving a fighting major, and Idaho's Connor Punnet's in the box as well. Grizzlies were 1 for 6 in the power play last night. Luke Manning will take the drives out there with Reed Lebster, Tyler Gratton, and Jack Ricketts is lined up with Garrett Pike up top. 4 forwards and 1 defenseman on this power play shift. Draws over in the left circle. Manning crouches down, takes a draw, but it's won by Idaho. They'll throw it up and not out. Ricketts on the right side gets to the Pike in the high slot. He dangles back and forth. Pike slides one towards his right for Ricketts. Now back to Pike. They'll tap it to his left for Lebster. Lebster directs it to Pike up top near the blue line. Pike moves towards his right. Now he gets to Lebster in the high slot. Lebster over to Pike. One-timer is blocked by Kanadi. Grizzlies behind the net. Ricketts trying to get to Manning. Now it's pushed towards Manning. Battle behind Barczewski's net. Barczewski looks over his left shoulder, now his right. Miller throws it up and not out. Miller got Lebster with a high stick, but it was on a follow-through, and so no penalty. As Grizzlies back deep in their own zone will reset the attack. 1:20 left in Utah's first power play of the game. We're about 7 minutes in, still no score. Lebster gets the puck, and he'll skate towards his right. Lebster's out neutralized, crosses the center red line. Now he crosses over the offensive blue. He'll tap it up top, left point to Manning. Manning drops it for Pike, who races towards the left point. He gets the puck. He'll throw it to Manning in the left corner over to Lebster, who taps it up top for Pike. Pike will finesse it towards Lebster. Lebster now in the high slot, dangling back and forth. He'll move it to his left, but skating the other way was Ricketts, so it goes over lead for him, and the Steelheads will clear it out. Well, Ricketts was zigging, and it looked like the Grizzly player thought that he was going to zag. Grizzlies will make a line change. As Aiden Hansen-Buchanan is out there with Christian Felton, 2 defensemen on this shift, Genev, Ness, and Timofeyev. Ness over towards Hansen-Buchanan will lay it to the Utah line for Genev, as Rylan Kovacevic would probably be on this unit if he wasn't in the box serving as fighting major. Genev to Ness over the offensive line. Ness across, one-timer to score! Stepan Timofeyev with a laser blast that's fired back past Barczewski. It's a power play goal, and Utah takes a 1-0 lead. Ness to Timofeyev to the back of the net for the second straight night. Griffin Ness entered the offensive zone with momentum, got towards the right circle. Looks like Genev's going to get the other assist. Genev over the line to Ness. Ness the right side, just fed it across to an open Timofeyev, and his one-timer was lasered at probably 90 miles an hour over Jake Barczewski's left shoulder. So the Grizzlies have a power play goal in 3 straight games now. Out of the box is Kovacevic. He's done serving his fighting major. He's on the ice now as Utah leads 1-0 on Timofeyev's 4th of the year and 3rd as a Grizzly. Kovacevic gets the puck. He angles to his left. He crosses center ice. Steps over the offensive line. He collides with Punnett. They just fought about 6 minutes ago. Oddly enough, the scoreboard still has it as a scoreless game. Put one on the board for you, the good guys. Idaho ices as Pelton Bice didn't cross the center red line. That's right here. The scoreboard at Idaho Central Arena still has it as a scoreless game. They have not acknowledged on the scoreboard the Timofeyev goal. But Hawk Harrelson used to say you can put it on the board. Yes. Yes, sir, for Stepan Timofeyev, although they haven't put it on the board yet at Idaho Central Arena. Idaho wins the draw now. A drive from Weinstein gets redirected by Timofeyev. Boy, Timofeyev's buzzing here in the first period. As the Steelheads still with it. Now they put it on the board. Utah leads 1-0 officially here on the scoreboard here at Idaho Central Arena. Pike around the net to Weinstein. Grizzlies deep in their own zone, skating from left to right. Genev paddles with Pelton Bice. Now Weinstein will tap it off the boards. Malmquist on the right point keeps it in, and he'll wobble it towards the left corner. Pelton Bice, he'll cycle it back around now up top to Hershuk. Hershuk around the net. Genev races towards the right side. He gets the puck, looks over both shoulders, lets it go. Bice keeps in, punted down the middle of the ice. He'll take a lefty shot and hits the post. Iron unkind, the goal light goes off. They stop play, and the referee puts both hands in the air, and he says he might take an extra look at it. Punta believes he scored as he ranged the near post. The goal light went off, and I think they're going to take an extra look at it. Nolan Bloyer's the lone referee tonight. About half the games in the league have two referees. Punnett had the puck down the middle of the ice, fired it off the near post. He thought he had scored. Referee, you heard a little bit of iron. And I'm not, it's hard to say whether it was a goal or not. Now Nolan Bloyer is going to go talk with Grizzlies head coach John Buchanan. With the goal light going off and everybody in the building starting to celebrate, they're not going to video replay. Bloyer believes that there was no goal. I thought it rang off the near post. I couldn't see anything that signaled that it crossed the goal line. I think Nolan Bloyer is going to take an extra look at it. They showed it on the replay. Not sure the puck crossed the goal line. It's tattooed off the near post. So Nolan Bloyer, the referee, is going to go to the tablet, and he's going to take an extra look at this. So right now it's a 1-0 Grizzlies lead on a Stepan Timofeyev power play goal with the assist going to Griffin Ness and Danny Genev. Time of the goal was 7:50 into the first period. Well, the tough part about last night's game for the Grizzlies and losing in overtime 3-2 is Utah was that close to getting a victory. They were playing great hockey for a good 2.5 periods of last night's game, and Mitch Wall was over on the right point, just fired it past Wells. Wells might have been screened, and then in overtime, Utah had a power play, and Idaho did what they had to do and scored a goal shorthanded. That was what made last night's game so tough, as the Grizzlies did play good hockey, and they were very close to picking up a victory. Tonight, Grizzlies are off to a good start. We're about 9 minutes in. It's 1-0 Utah. They're going to video replay as Connor Punnett tapped the puck off the near post. The goal light went off, and there are people in the building that believe the goal was scored. So Nolan Bloyer is taking a good long look at this. I'm not sure he's going to find anything that would signal that the puck crossed the goal line. This is the first of 4 straight road games for the Grizzlies. Utah will be here tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. It'll be the final regular season meeting ever here in this building as Grizzlies take on the Steelheads. They'll keep playing hockey in this building, but it'll be the last time the Grizzlies are scheduled to play a regular season game here. And then next weekend, Utah will be in Tulsa at BOK Center to take on the Oilers. I'm going to try to fight off the camera operators the best I can next week over at BOK Center. So it's 1-0 Utah. Timofeyev scored on a power play, 7:50 in with Ness and Genev getting the assists. Utah's outshot Idaho 4-2. Bloyer's taking a good long look at this thing. If it didn't ring off the near post, it rang off something on the inside. It didn't look like it got the middle of the net. He's just taking a good long look. Obviously, he doesn't have any dinner plans after the game. Next home game for the Grizzlies will be a 3-game set against the Allen Americans. That's going to be on Thanksgiving week, November 26th, 28th, and 29th. Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Saturday the 29th is going to be Hispanic Heritage Night. So everybody's just kind of lingering around, and Nolan Bloyer is watching either the replay of the potential goal or he's watching a 2-hour movie. And we're all just waiting anxiously for the call. Looks like the tablet is working. If it's going to take any longer, we might as well just get the Zamboni out and resurface the thing. As Bloyer continues, it looks like he might be on Bumble. I think he's swiping right. I see a couple swipes towards his right. Bloyer's been an official. He's probably one of the longest tenured officials in this league, certainly in terms of referees. As now some fans are headed for the concession stands. There's 11:06 left in the first period. Grizzlies and Steelheads. Right now, Utah leads 1-0 on the Timofeyev power play goal. And really, if you're talking about forwards that have stepped up big for the Grizzlies over the last 4 or 5 games, you're probably looking at Timofeyev. You're looking at Griffin Ness. Ness to Timofeyev in back-to-back nights. You're looking at Genev being a spark plug. He's the one that made the play happen. He threw the cross-ice pass to Ness, and the Ness to Timofeyev for the goal. So Genev with an assist. He now has 3 goals and 4 assists on the year, and Evan Friesen's played good hockey as well. They're continuing to look at this thing. Either it's a goal or it's not. This is unbelievable. This is one of the longest replays. He's probably been looking at the tablet for a good 5 minutes now. I mean, if you don't see a goal, you got to move on and play. Fans are starting to get a little bit anxious here. Now he's dropped the tablet. Let's see what Nolan Blair says. And he says no goal. I could have told you that 6 minutes ago, and we could have been moving on with this thing. Everett Sheen now having a conversation with Nolan Blair, and it looked like Blair kind of put one palm in the air, kind of indicating that I didn't see anything that said it was a goal. Now Nolan Blair's giving John Mechanic equal time. So no goal in the play. It's still 1-0 Utah. Draws Gamble over in the right circle. That delay was, a good 6 minutes? Dropped by the linesman. He false starts, does the linesman. We'll do it over again. Manning will take the face-off against Mitch Wall. Those two had a couple key face-offs late in last night's game. Manning crouching down low. The A's on the sweater of Grizzlies players. Luke Manning and Noah Gansky. Neil Shea had been wearing an A on his sweater. Grizzlies cross center ice. Lepster will chip it to his left and race after it. Lepster gets it in the left corner. He slides up top to Weinstein. Weinstein towards left corner, tried to drop it off for Lepster, but Boltman was in the area. Now the Steelheads slide it to center ice. Wall gets it. Idaho's got numbers. Rink wide feed off a Grizzly stick, and that was Garrett Pike who made a good play. Pelton Bice left side is shot, and that's blocked by a stick, and it flies out of play. Manning and Weinstein were in the area near Pelton Bice. As Idaho have an offensive zone draws, there's 9:39 left in the first period. Grizzlies wearing their green jerseys. That's the alternate this season. It's a bit of a darker shade of green than what the Grizzlies wore during their division championship club of the 2021-22 season. That was more of a lighter shade of green, and this is what we like to call a professional shade, kind of a forest green. New York Jet fans would recognize the color scheme. It's pretty similar to what they have. Idaho wins the draw. Right side, shot saved by Kaiser. Now left wing, shot goes wide, and the puck ended up out of play. McDonnell had the second look, and it looks like the net got dislodged on Kaiser's net. So they put the net back in place. 10:31's left in the first period. During the first intermission, we'll go over all the NHL and ECHL scores. Last night was a tough night for the local clubs. Mammoth lost 3-2 in overtime, and the Ogden Mustangs lost 3-2 in overtime as well. Idaho wins the draw. They're in the offensive zone, skating from right to left. Puck bounces off a stick, and Cristodero tries to corral it over in the right corner. 2-on-2 scrum. Hanson, Bucata, and Kelly over there for Utah. Puck off a Gillette stick. It stays in play. McDonnell over to the right point. Now the puck goes out to neutral ice. Idaho dumps it back in. They'll tag back up. Grizzlies get the puck deep in their own zone. Aiden Hanson Bucata, the RIT and Ohio State product. First-year pro gets it. Now he'll move it to his left. Gillette gets the puck. He's also a first-year pro, and he'll zip it around the boards deep in the Idaho zone. Barcheski has a glance off his stick. Genev sweeps on towards Barcheski, and he kicks it away. Those two played in the Big Ten. Genev with Penn State and Barcheski with Michigan. Dancing around is Salem. He fires towards the net. It goes wide as it glanced off the stick of Cristodero. McDonnell wobbles it out to center ice looking for Cristodero, and the Gansky cut off to Darrow's progress. Puck slides towards Barcheski, who plays it at the far goal line. Now it's Nick Canati back behind the net. Idaho will set up shop. Steelheads get it back towards Canati. Off his stick, he regathers it. Canati gets pressured by Genev. Now Canati around his own net towards the far side. Canati accelerates past Genev, crosses center ice, and he'll tap it off the top of the boards. It goes deep towards the Grizzlies zone left corner. Now Idaho behind the net to Pearson. He fumbles the puck as Salem loses it to Canati. Up top, Punnett fakes a shot. Now he takes one and it goes just wide. Getting it off the end boards is Timofeyev, who's been outstanding. He's got the lone goal in the game. Utah leads 1-0, 11 minutes in. Punnett to the right wing, stops in the corner. He loses it as Luke Salem with a gentle push and a mild arc, and the old biscuit bounces at center ice. Hershuk out to center ice, left wing. He'll skate in, gets around two Grizzlies. He fires towards the net and misses wide. Gansky might have gotten a stick in the way. Pearson sweeps the puck along the boards. Canati races, keeps it in. Actually, it's Arcuri, who's a great skater. And he'll reverse it back towards the right point. Punnett taps to the right corner. as Miller will wobble it off the Salem stick. Timofeyev gets pinned to the boards by Jade Miller. Puck goes back to our Curry. Our Curry skates towards the right side, drops for Punnett, who cycles it back around. Hershuk over in the left wing. He'll tap it towards the left corner. Idaho gets to our Curry. Left side will take a lefty shot, goes wide. Pearson, as a Steelhead and a Grizzly are laying in the crease with Kaiser. Grizzlies clear it out. Punnett runs it down. He's got an NHL contract with the Dallas Stars, and he certainly has the size of 6'2" and 205 pounds, but he looks a little bit taller than that. Punnett moves to his right. Steelhead skate from right to left in the period. Grizz from left to right. Ports taps off the boards, gets his own pass, and he'll spin it along the wall. Matt Anderson at center ice, the UMD Bulldog product, former Toledo Walleye, gets it in deep as Idaho's Nick Ports taps it back across. Boltman, right side, dangling back and forth. Centers to our Curry. It's kicked away by the right ankle of Kaiser. Now shot from the right side, saved by Kaiser. That last shot was taken by Boltman. Out to the left corner. Anderson gets pushed by Lebster. Manning gets hit by Steinmetz. Now our Curry gets tapped away by Manning. Manning and our Curry collide at the Idaho line. Manning fires onto Barchescu, sticks it away. Boltman deep in his own zone. Thought about willing it around the wall. Instead gets to our Curry near the Idaho line. Scrum as a Grizzly gets rammed into, and that was Boltman ramming into Manning. Pike fires onto Barchescu, gloves it, and he'll spin it towards the far wing boards, does Barchescu, the second-year pro out of O'Fallon, Missouri. Idaho will opt it out to center ice. It's gloved and dropped by Ricketts. Ricketts over to Kovacevic off his stick. Idaho comes back the other way, 2-on-3. Blomquist skates over the offensive line. High slot. Lefty shot goes wide. Bucata will wobble it over to Ness. Ness gets a new tries. They'll nudge it across for Ricketts, who couldn't reach it. Kovacevic will one-hand it to Ricketts on the right side. Ricketts gets the puck over in the corner. Now Idaho takes it back. Blomquist ahead to center ice for Pelton Bice, who gets it knifed away by Aiden Hansen-Bucata. As Ricketts collided with Blomquist. Ricketts comes off for a change. Idaho crosses center ice, skating towards the right side. Righty shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound, Connor Kelly gets it. The first shot was taken by Charlie Dodaro. Kelly over towards Timofeyev, who will backhand it ahead. Now Timofeyev gets it back. He'll sweep it to his left. Geniev over the line. He'll drop it for Timofeyev. Timofeyev towards the left side. Backhand shot goes high. About 6 minutes left in the first period. Utah leads 1-0 on a power play goal from Stepan Timofeyev, with Ness and Geniev getting the assists. Wall to Jardine down the middle to Pelton Bice. Now down the middle for Wall. He feeds it to his right off of Malmquist's stick as he tried to get it towards the net, and Weinstein took it away. Grizzlies moving out to center ice off of Malmquist, taking its Jardine, and he'll flop it in. Gansky gets it behind his own net. As Grizzlies have spread the ice, they're playing pretty good hockey. Both teams have 6 shots in the first period. Both clubs pretty disciplined defensively here to start. Punnett gloves it and drops over the right point. He'll throw it towards Kaiser, where it's taken by Weinstein, the 20-year-old out of the WHL. He'll spin it along the near wing wall. Puck goes to Hershuk. Aiden's his first name. He'll skate down the middle of the ice. He gets it tapped away by a Grizzly. As Pelton Bice resets, he'll throw it up top. As Brendan Hoffman, who had a great year last season for the Steelheads, he'll move it to his right. Now cross-ice feed to Hoffman, who gains the line. Left side gets around one Grizzly. Now Hoffman, backhand shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound. Chris Tadero had it tapped away by Lebster. Hershuk left point. He fires towards the net. Like a redirected by McDonnell. Now centering pass towards McDonnell's overled for him. Gansky over to Lebster. Lebster crosses center ice. Grizzlies 3-on-3 over the offensive line. Lebster gets it across. Grattan lefty shot. He scores! The captain makes it a 2-0 game. Boy, the Grizzlies got the puck into the offensive zone. Lebster on the right side got it across to a wide open Tyler Grattan. Timofeyev scored on a one-timer. Grattan with just a quick-looking wrist shot. Glove side pass, Barchescu. So Utah with 2 goals on 7 shots, and they lead with 4:51 left in the first. So it should be Lebster and Manning getting the assist, and Tyler Grattan gets his 3rd goal of the season. He's got a point in 4 straight games and a goal in back-to-back contests, as he scored early in the second period last night. So Grizzlies are playing some good hockey. They lead 2-0. Both teams have 7 shots. Felton with the puck. He gets it towards Manning, who gets rammed into by Nick Canati. Canati likes to be a physical presence. Now Manning and Canati tie up. Both guys have words for each other. Canati's one of those guys. He likes to bark and talk and yap and all those sort of things. Grizzlies get it behind their net. Garrett Pike dancing around. It's tapping off the skate of Pearson. Pearson gets it. He'll throw it to Canati. Canati tried to get to Miller, who's cutting towards the net. Pass behind him towards the left corner. Now from one corner to the other. Canadi runs it down on a pass from Miller. Now the Steelheads get to the left wing. Anderson with a shot, saved by Kaiser. Now backhand shot by Miller, rolls onto Kaiser, covers up. He stops play with 4:13 left in the second. The captain, Tyler Gratton, gives Utah a 2-0 lead. That's where we sit with 4:13 left in the first. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Utah leads 2-0. Stepan Timofeyev scored a power play goal, 7:50 in. Tyler Gratton scored from the left wing, 15:09 in, with Reed Lepster getting the assist. Off the draw, shot by Caleb Pearson goes wide. It glanced off a Grizzly stick. Utah's blocked a lot of shots, not only with their body, but their stick so far in this first period. Scrum over on the right point as Idaho comes out with the puck. Anderson fires lefty shot, glove saved by Kaiser. He holds on. Caleb Pearson was net front battling with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Timeout on the ice, 3:58 left. Utah leads 2-0. Idaho's outshot Utah 10-7. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Reed Lepster and Danny Genev lead Utah with 2 shots each. Garrett Pike, Stepan Timofeyev, and Tyler Gratton each have 1 shot. Timofeyev and Gratton each have a goal. Back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
So Grizzlies up 2-0 on goals from Stepan Timofeyev and Tyler Gratton. Draws give me the left circle of the Grizzlies zone. Kyle Kaiser's been outstanding so far tonight. He has saved all 10 he has seen, and he has saved all 39 shots he has seen from oppositions as a member of the Grizzlies. He had a 29-save shutout on November 7th against Wichita. Idaho wins the draw. Anderson dances his right now and get it across. Boltman fires towards the net and it's blocked by Gillette. Ness in the area battles with Steinmetz. Puck in the right corner, now up top. Boltman across to Anderson. Anderson back to Boltman. Boltman fires the righty shot. Kick saved by Kaiser off his right ankle. Ricketts gets it ahead. Utah 2-on-2. John Gillette taps to the middle of the ice looking for Griffin Ness, and it ended up on Boltman's stick. Boltman skates deeper into the Idaho zone. Barczewski looks over his left shoulder. Idaho crosses center ice. Ports gets around Timofeyev, but Timofeyev divorces Ports from the puck. Ness looking for Timofeyev. Pass behind him. Steinmetz gets towards Ports, who whips it around the boards. Kaiser couldn't cut it off. Genev, the Penn State product, out to center ice as Jardine had it fan off his stick. Ness towards Timofeyev. Timo over to the right circle, skating in. And he's looking for a backhand shot. Save, rebound shot. Kick saved by Barczewski as Salem was close to making it a 3-0 game. As Barczewski made a nice save with his left ankle. Grizzlies skate back in. Now towards Salem. High slot. Shot gets redirected on the way towards Barczewski. Now sharp angle shot hits the side of the net. Idaho will clear it out. And it's going to be icing on the Steelheads. No, well, icing's waved off. Puck didn't have enough steam as the Steelheads make a line change. Out towards Genev. It glances off nobody. Genev got hit in the back by Jardine. And so icing is on Utah with 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in the first. So the draw's going to come back towards Kyle Kaiser. And one of the things you notice immediately about him is his agility, his mobility. He's a very quick and agile goaltender. You see him getting the splits, and he's got a very, I'd say, elastic lower half. He's got a lot of pro experience. Utah should have made it a 3-0 game. Barczewski, we know he's pretty agile himself. He had some highlight saves with Utah last season. He made a great save with his left ankle, denying Luke Salem a couple minutes ago. Puck off of Salem's stick, rolls back towards Hershuk. Hershuk in the Steelhead zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Genev comes off. He's replaced by Tyler Gratton. Those two were teammates for a time at Penn State. Idaho over the offensive line. Getting over to the right corner. Now centering it. It's picked off by Utah. Now it goes towards the left corner. As Wall throws to the middle. Shot kick saved by Kaiser off his left pad. As Lebster will throw it from one blue line to the other. He chases after it. Connor Punnett cuts off Lebster. Now Punnett will skate around Barczewski's net. He'll move it over to Mitch Wall near the Steelheads bench. Wall to the middle of the ice. Hershuk trying to get it towards Malmquist off Malmquist's stick. He regathers it and dumps it in backhand style. As Pike will pitchfork it around the boards towards Lebster. Lebster dances around and he'll shovel it towards Manning. Manning over to Gratton in the right wing. Gratton gets around Boltman. As Gratton gets pushed towards the right corner, good defensive play by Boltman. Boltman off the boards to Hoffman, but it didn't get towards Hoffman. Kovacevic in the area. Now getting against Luke Manning. Manning, he gets taken down by Boltman. Dragged down, no call. Now Kovacevic over in the right corner. Will tap it off the glass. Puck hippity hops towards the middle of the ice, and it goes out to center. Grizzlies will reset it, neutral ice. Weinstein will skate back into his own zone. He'll tattoo it off the far wing boards. Kovacevic will dump it in from neutral ice. 1:10 seconds left in the first period. Utah leads 2-0. McDonnell tried to cross center ice. He's only 20 years old. Quite a few young players for both sides in this game. McDonnell, 20 years old. Weinstein, 20 years old on the Grizzlies side. Friesen, just 21. Now towards the right side, now up top. Dodaro, high slot, righty shot, and that's blocked before it gets towards Kaiser. Kovacevic rainbows it deep into the Steelhead zone. Icing is called. As Kovacevic was thinking that Griffin Ness was just going to keep skating. Ness had stopped a little bit at the Idaho line. So the Grizzlies get called for icing as there's 45.5 seconds left in the first period. Idaho is leading the shot count 13-9. Grizzlies had a high quantity of shots last night. Some would probably say they even had a high quality of shots, but just couldn't find the back of the net more than twice. Utah wins the draw. Kelly, the former Chicago Blackhawks draft pick in 2021, 7th-round pick, trying to get towards Kovacevic, who was double-teamed. Idaho comes back the other way. Kanadi over the offensive line, 3-on-3, dumps into the corner. He gets cut off by Hanson Bukata. Felton gets belted by Miller. As a 2-on-2 scrum, Felton and Hanson Bukata. Kanadi lumbers Hanson Bukata in the back continually. Now the puck goes over to Utah. Grizzlies doing a good job winning the 50-50 pucks. They certainly work on that in practice a lot. Friesen off the near wing boards as Idaho comes up with it deep in their own zone. 10 seconds left in the period. Miller gets the puck. He races back and forth, crosses center ice. He'll get to Kanadi in the left wing. Kanadi fires towards the net, and it's off of Timofeyev's stick. 2 seconds left, centering pass off the stick. Timofeyev runs it down, and that will do it for 20 minutes here at Idaho Central Arena. And the Grizzlies, despite being outshot 13-9, got great scoring chances. Both goals came from the left wing. A Stepan Timofeyev got a one-timer on a power play and a pass from Griffin Ness, and then late in the first period, it was Lebster to Gratton, and Gratton was all alone on the left side. Gratton with a quick-looking wrist shot past Barczewski, glove side. That made it a 2-0 game, and that's where we sit after 20 minutes of play. Unfortunately, the only assist on the Gratton goal was by Lebster, even though it definitely looked like Luke Manning should have picked up an assist on that play. When we come back, we'll talk some hockey and go over the first 20 minutes of play as the Utah Grizzlies have played some really good hockey this weekend. They lead 2-0 over the arch rival Idaho Steelheads. We're back in 2 minutes with the intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
After 20 minutes of play here at Idaho Central Arena, the Grizzlies lead 2-0. It's the next to last game ever for the Grizzlies here at Idaho Central Arena. Well, Utah got on a power play. 6:12 into the first period, Caleb Pearson picked up a holding minor, but before that, a minute 31 in, there was a fight between Rylan Kovacevic and Connor Punnett. Kovacevic swung and missed, and then Punnett looked like he was connecting on 3 or 4 rights, but when they showed the replay, it didn't look like the punches connected as well on the replays. It looked like they were live, and then eventually Kovacevic dragged down Punnett. The fight lasted about 10 seconds, and both guys got a fighting major, a minute 31 into the contest. Grizzlies are rolling with 10 forwards, as earlier today, Neil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Pearson's holding minor, 6:12 in, gave Utah power play, and it was late in the power play when Danny Genev was at neutralize. Fed it across to Ness. Ness was in the right wing, got towards the right circle, slid it across to Timo Feev, and Timo's one-timer just rocketed right past the former Grizzly Jake Barczewski as Utah took a 1-0 lead, 7:50 in. The Grizzlies now have a power play goal in 4 straight games. Utah extended the lead 15:09 in as, they didn't give an assist to Luke Manning. It looked like Manning got to Lepster, and then Lepster was a little bit on the right side, and it looked almost like a replay of the Timo Feev goal. The only difference is instead of a one-timer, Gratton got the puck and fired a quick-looking wrist snapshot type of thing past Barczewski. Gratton got his 3rd of the year. He now has a goal in back-to-back games. Utah extended the lead to 2-0. Right now, Lepster's got the only assist. That would be his 4th of the year. I think they should add something to Luke Manning, as it looked like Manning was the one that got the puck towards Lepster. So if Manning does get added an assist, it would be his 3rd of the season. And Utah took a 2-0 lead there on the Gratton goal. Both goals were scored from the left circle. Timo Feev on a one-timer. Gratton collected the puck and then fired past Barczewski. And despite the fact that Idaho's out shooting Utah 13-9, Grizzlies are getting a pretty good quantity as opposed to necessarily a high quality, getting a good quality, not necessarily a high quantity. It's kind of the opposite effect in last night's game where the Grizzlies got as many shots as they wanted to, and Idaho just kind of packed the middle, and their goaltender, Tefensi, played a pretty good game. So we'll see if the Grizzlies, obviously playing with the lead, you know that Idaho is going to come out with a little bit more in the second period, but the Grizzlies have been a pretty good second period club, not only this year, but in past years, as Utah is one of the faster teams in the league, and they obviously tried to play with a ton of speed last year. And this season, obviously, it's a lot of the quicker players like Luke Manning are back once again. Utah has outscored opponents 11-7 in the second periods this year. So, Idaho is going to try to come up with a response, and the Grizzlies got to be strong and try to withstand that and hold on to the lead, the 2-0 lead, and maybe expand on that here in the second period. In terms of the shot count, Grizzlies had 9 in the first period. Timo Feev, Lepster, and Genev each had 2 shots. Salem, Pike, and Gratton, each with 1 each. And obviously, Timo Feev and Gratton had one of their shots go past Jake Barczewski. Kyle Kaiser, what can you say? He's had 4 really outstanding periods as a Grizzly. Got a 29-save shutout against Wichita on November 7th. That was the Grizzlies' last road game. And today, he stopped all 13 he has seen. He is quick and agile. We talked about his lower half. How he just about, he just kind of like, he's got that quick mobility. He can do the splits, and it looks like he's one of those guys that he can move from side to side about as quick as anybody. And he's the type of guy that if you play well in front of him, he's going to make the saves. And he has certainly made all 42 saves so far that he has seen in a Grizzlies uniform. And he's on a roll right now. He had 3 really good games with Colorado earlier this season in the American League, including 1 shutout. And he's off to a pretty good start in his time with Utah. So see if the Grizzlies can find a way to hold on to this 2-0 lead. In terms of Idaho's 13 shots on goal, looks like Jake Boltman has 5 shots and then 8 other Steelheads with 1 shot each. So Boltman is on pace for 15 shots on goal. Boltman out of Edina, Minnesota. He played with two different colleges. He was at Notre Dame University for 4 seasons, and last year he played at Northeastern University. So Utah has played pretty good hockey. Really, they played good hockey all weekend, and that's what made last night's loss in overtime 3-2 feel like a gut punch, is the fact that the Grizzlies were really close. They were 55 seconds away from victory, and they had put together, outside of that first minute where Idaho scored with Holmes. Holmes is a scratch tonight, but Grizzlies put together, I'd say, 58 really good defensive minutes of hockey. Just Mitch Wall got the puck in the right point. He made the perfect shot, and it didn't look like Wells necessarily had great vision on it. And then in overtime, Lepster fell down, and Punnett came down, and the Steelheads ended up winning. Punnett took the shot, bounced off of Wells, and then Miller got the rebound. Grizzlies have played some good hockey this weekend, and I think they'd like to see some victories come out of it. Utah's kind of been on one of that stretch of win one, lose one kind of things, and they're hoping for a victory here this evening in the middle game of a 3-3. As Grizzlies lost in overtime 3-2, they picked up a standing point. Utah's 4-5-2 on the season. Tomorrow evening, it's going to be a 4 o'clock start. It will be the final regular season game for the Grizzlies ever in this building. Obviously, it's a possibility that both teams will meet in the 2026 Kelly Cup playoffs. When we come back, we'll go over the other league scores. As it's a busy night in the league, we'll also go over some NHL scores. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are not in action, and the Utah Mammoth are also not in action, but we'll go over the NHL scores on the other side. After 20 minutes of play, the Utah Grizzlies lead 2-0. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Grizzlies lead 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. Other action across the league. Greenville gets a 2-1 victory over Florida. The game-winning goal was scored by Ryan O'Reilly. No, not that Ryan O'Reilly. 18-16 into the second. Cincinnati defeats Kalamazoo 5-4. No former Grizzlies on the goal-scoring sheet for either club. Worcester defeats Trois-Rivières 2-0. South Carolina gets a 5-3 victory over the Orlando Solar Bears. Kupka, who got the game winner for South Carolina last night, picked up 2 goals, including the game winner, 4:20 into the third period. In Fishers, Indiana, hometown of Mike Folta, Rapid City defeats Indy 2-1. Ryan Wagner and Chaz Smedzrud each had a goal for Rapid City, and Joseph scored 6:09 into the third period. In fact, Joseph scored the first goal of the game, and then Wagner, the former Grizzly, tied it up, and Chaz Smedzrud won at 16:51 into the third. Bloomington defeats Iowa 3-1. No goals from any former Grizzlies there. Jacksonville defeats Guy Carenza and Jared Youngman's Atlanta Gladiators 2-1. Jacksonville got goals from Petosia and Duhart. Dalton Duhart scored the game winner 3:33 into the third period. Jack Cipollone scored for Atlanta 5:17 in. Reading defeats Adirondack 7-3. Tahoe gets a 5-1 victory in the Jackson Hibbard Colin Lee showdown. That's the third of a 3-game series. Greensboro did win 2 of the 3 games in the set. Former Grizzly equipment manager Jackson Hibbard is currently with the Tahoe Night Monsters in that same role. And Colin Lee, the former Grizzlies athletic trainer, is the athletic trainer for the Greensboro Gargoyles. And I got to imagine at this point, Colin Lee is best buddies with Paul Bissonnette. I mean, why not? I'd be best buddies with Colin Lee as well if he were in my organization. Kansas City defeats Wichita 3-2. The game winner was scored by Bobby Carpenter. Actually, it was Marcus Crawford who scored the game winner 12:06 into the third period. Savannah defeats Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 5-4. Wheeling defeats Maine 4-1. So Wheeling, they've been a wagon so far this season. Their record goes to 9-1 in the season. Toledo defeats Fort Wayne 2-1. Former Grizzly Chad Hillebrand scored for Toledo 1:02 into the third period. After 2 periods, Tulsa leads Allen 4-0. Elliott has 2 goals for the Oilers. One of Tulsa's forwards is former Grizzly Dylan Fitz. Fitz is in the Tulsa lineup. He's taken 1 shot, but isn't even in the plus-minus category and has no points. Remember, the Grizzlies will be in Tulsa for games next Friday and Saturday. So that should be an interesting one, as Utah will take on Dylan Fitz and the Tulsa Oilers. Well, we're at the top of the hour. 8 o'clock is the time of day up and down the Wasatch Front. The Utah Grizzlies have a 2-0 lead. Let's go over some NHL scores and check in on those who are living the dream. Last night, former Grizzly Hunter Skinner made his NHL debut. Skinner is not in the Blues lineup this evening. Remember, Hunter Skinner played with the 2020-21 Utah Grizzlies. The play I remember most from Hunter Skinner in his time with Utah, and he did score 7 goals and 10 assists with Utah. But the play I remember more than anything else came on February 28th, 2021 against Wheeling. People remember the goaltender fight that happened about 10 seconds later, but before that, at the start of the line brawl, if you will, Hunter Skinner just blasted Vladislav Mikalchuk of Wheeling, and Hunter Skinner with about as strong a punch as I had seen anybody over the last 6 or 7 years, and that's the play I remember most from Hunter Skinner. It came like 10 seconds before Kevin Carr went to center ice and fought Francois Brassard, the Wheeling goaltender. Speaking of Hunter Skinner, as St. Louis Blues trail 3-0 to the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas will be in town a couple times over the next few weeks, taking on the Utah Mammoth. Early third period, Stars lead the Flyers 3-0. Jason Robertson has 2 goals for Dallas. Stars have outshot the Flyers 17-14. And early in the third, Dallas leads Philadelphia 3-0. Getting underway at 8 o'clock, Jets are at the Flames. Also at 8 o'clock, the Sharks are at the Kraken. Tampa Bay gets a 3-1 victory over the Florida Panthers. No points tonight for former Grizzly Charles Edward Dastu, but he was in the Tampa Bay Lightning lineup. Dastu wasn't even in the plus-minus category. He had 4 penalty minutes. He played 18 minutes and 13 seconds, had 26 shifts, 1 block shot, and 1 giveaway. In fact, he had the 3rd most minutes for a Lightning defenseman. So Dastu in the lineup, no points for Tampa Bay, but the Lightning get the 3-1 victory over the 2-time defending champion Florida Panthers. Wild shut out the Ducks 2-0. Bruins get a 3-2 victory over the Canadiens. Los Angeles gets a 1-0 victory over Ottawa. Alex Lafreniere scored the game winner, 9:19 into the first period. Anson Forsberg picked up a 17-save shutout. Sabres get an overtime victory, 5-4 over the Detroit Red Wings. Matthias Samuelsson scored the overtime game winner, 1:05 in. In a shootout, Devils defeat the Capitals 3-2. In overtime, Edmonton defeats Carolina 4-3. Leon Draisaitl, 19 seconds into overtime, picked up the game winner. In a shootout, the Rangers defeat the Blue Jackets 2-1. JT Miller had the shootout game winner. And the Chicago Blackhawks got a 3-2 regulation win over Toronto. Colton Dock had the game winner, 15:35 into the third period, breaking a 2-2 tie as Chicago defeats Toronto 3-2. When we come back in 1 minute, we will have second period action as Utah leads 2-0. We'll skate 5-on-5 on the other side. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Dash, official mobile auction platform. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Grizzlies lead 2-0 as we head into the second period. It's the second of a 3-3. Both teams will be on the Idaho Central Arena ice tomorrow afternoon for a 4 p.m. start. Utah lost in overtime 3-2 as a bit of a heartbreaker as Utah had a 2-1 lead late in the third period. And Idaho's Mitch Wall scored from the right point on a power play with 55 seconds left, and the Steelheads scored shorthanded in overtime for the win. Grizzlies will start the second period with the forward line of Tyler Gratton, Luke Manning, and Reed Webster, and a defensive pairing of Christian Felton and Garrett Pike, so the same five that started the game. Jake Boltman's on the ice. He had 5 shots for Idaho in the first period. He's paired up with Matt Anderson, and the forwards are Mitch Wall with Ty Pelton-Bice and Liam Malmquist. Pelton-Bice back after serving a 9-game suspension. And Kovacevic back for the Grizzlies after serving a 3-game suspension. Manning will take the draw for Utah. He's got an A on his sweater. Draw won by Manning. Utah skates from right to left as we see it from high top section 202. Off of Webster's stick and out of play as it goes into row 3. Hopefully everybody's okay. Everybody kind of looking around as to where the puck is. Looks like everybody's okay. The puck ended up in row 1, and a fan comes away with a frozen vulcanized rubber disc. So Draw's going to be back at center ice 6 seconds into the second period. Fans take up a Let's Go Steelheads chant. Grizzlies win the draw for the second time here in the second period. As Pelton-Bice will bouncing off a Pike's skate. Puck wobbles towards Felton. He spins along the boards. Reed Webster gets it. Malmquist joins the play. As Manning and Pike look nearby. Webster comes out with the puck. He'll skate towards Kyle Kaiser. Now he stops behind the net. Webster with 1 assist tonight. He has 9 points in the season, 5 goals and 4 assists. Pike has the puck. He gets it towards Webster at center ice. Webster moves to his left for Gratton. Gratton left point. Fires lefty shot. It goes wide. Glove side. Pass Barcheski has missed the net. Felton over to Pike. He's in the Grizzlies zone. Pike will lunge it towards Gratton. Gratton dumps it in. He comes off the ice. The first shift of the second period for Freese and Timofeyev and Genev are underway. Connor Kelly's out there with Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Out to center ice. Skating in with speed as Matt Anderson tries to move towards his right, but he loses the puck. Kelly gets spun around. Pelton-Bice gets it. He'll throw it up top. Ports gets it to Jardine. Jardine fires it into the seats. It goes near the concession stands. Jardine taps his stick on his skate twice. Hopefully everybody's okay, but unfortunately everybody's looking up there. And, it's out of our view, but it looks like somebody got belted with a puck. Oh, that's a shame. Hopefully the fan that got hit with the puck is okay. Everybody's standing up, and they're a little bit concerned. We can't see from this angle, as it looks like it's towards the concession stands. It looks like everybody's just kind of stopped, and they're looking towards the concourse area as the puck flipped out of play off the stick of Sam Jardine. It is now a quiet crowd here at Idaho Central Arena. And we just hope that whoever got hit with the puck is okay. Second puck that's ended up in the seats here so far in the second period. It looks like they're looking for assistance for whoever got hit with the puck. And it is out of the view of where we're sitting here in section 203. Looks like they show the person hit with the puck. As they're working on her. They show on, if you're watching on Flow Sports, there she is. Looks like she's got an ice pack. Hopefully she'll be all right. So Draw's going to be over in the right circle. Although everybody in the seats is still kind of looking at that fan. They probably won't start playing again until they get the fan moved to a protective area, because a lot of people in the seats are looking towards that area, not necessarily looking at the ice. So they showed the fan on Flow Sports, I believe, for a few seconds. They administered some ice on her. It looks like, no, we can't really tell as everybody's standing in front. Now she gets a hand from the crowd here. She gives a thumbs up, and she says she's all right, or at least okay enough. As the fan gets a round of applause, puck is dropped. Grizzlies win the face-off. They skate from right to left during the period. Her heart rate's got to be up in the 200s at this point after getting hit with a puck. Looks like she's going to stay in her seat, though, as the Steelheads move it ahead. It goes past our Curry, no icing. Kaiser gets off the boards. They'll tattoo it off the right wing wall. Our Curry sharp-angled shot. Saved by Kaiser. Boy, Kaiser just kind of slid in the butterfly position. Our Curry fired from the right wing. Kaiser calmly made the save. So draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. 18:35 left in the third. Idaho's outshot Utah 13-9, but the Grizzlies have a 2-0 lead on goals from Stepan Timofeyev and Tyler Gratton. Jack Ricketts will take the draw. Ricketts, a first-year pro out of Holy Cross and Quinnipiac. Steinmetz takes the face-off for Idaho. Ricketts has 4 goals and 1 assist this season. It's the Grizzlies' 12th game. Quite a few players for Utah have appeared in all 12, and Ricketts is one of them. Ricketts taking a few more face-offs, with Neil Shea getting called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. Draw won by Idaho as they'll get it towards our Curry. Right side shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound goes to Salem. Grizzlies come back the other way. Kovacevic races out to center ice. He'll tap it off the boards, trying to get to Gillette. Idaho pushes it back to center ice. Ports across the center red line. He'll guide it towards our Curry. Our Curry in the left point will slide one slowly towards the left goal line. Salem gets the puck, skates around Kaiser's net. Salem will tattoo it off the boards. Ports gathers it. He gets it knifed away by Ricketts. Kovacevic battles with Steinmetz. Steinmetz will shuffle it towards Ports. Ports gets across center ice. He'll throw it towards the Utah line where it's batted by Salem. And the Grizzlies will dump it all the way down. It ricochets off the far wing wall. Both teams will change up skaters. Idaho's got the puck with 17:49 on a moving clock, second period. Idaho's outshot Utah 2-0 here so far in the second period, but the Grizzlies have a 2-0 lead. Idaho will lift it over Gratton and Pike's head. Pike racing after it. Weinstein joins the play. He gets hit by Chris Dodaro. Pike looks over both shoulders as McDonnell joins the play as puck goes back towards the left point. Hoffman, righty shot, glove saved by Kaiser in the butterfly position as Hoffman fired a low liner. Boy, Kaiser, we talk about his quickness and agility. He was quick as a cat, sliding towards his left to make an ankle-high save. There was some traffic out in front as well. Kaiser's done a good job in spotting pucks despite there being traffic in front of him. The Steelheads have done a good job getting traffic in front of Kaiser, but Kaiser somehow has still been able to make every save that he's seen so far. Draw goes towards the end boards in the Grizzlies zone. Hoffman gets towards Dodaro. Chris Dodaro, that is. His brother Charlie is on the defensive unit. The older of the two is Charlie Dodaro at 32 years old. Chris is 29 years old. Pike gets it at the Utah line. He slides over to Weinstein. Sage Weinstein is center ice for Lebster, tape to tape. Lebster pushes it back towards Pike. Pike to center ice. It glances off a Manning stick. It goes deep into the Steelhead zone. Grizzlies will get 5 fresh skaters on the ice. The forward line of Timofeyev, Friesen, and Geneva are on the ice. As the puck's tapped at center ice by McDonnell, it goes in deep. Bucott over to Geneva. Danny Geneva tries a rink-wide feed. He goes out of play and into the aisle. Third time a puck has sailed into the seats there so far in the second period. And a fan in row 2 holds up the puck, and luckily it looks like it hit either a step or an empty seat. And now everybody's a little bit more aware of the pucks flying into the spectator area. So Draw's going to be over in the right circle. Not sure if we're ever going to get an update on that fan that got hit, but it looked like she was okay after getting some assistance for a couple seconds. Maybe it was probably about 2 minutes worth of assistance. Idaho's got the puck. They skate down the middle of the ice. Anderson moves it towards his left. Grizzlies tattoo it away. Connor Kelly zips one angle left. To center ice for Timofeyev. Timofeyev gets it, moves it across toward Genev off the boards. Genev fires towards the net, saved by Barcheski as Bukata gets towards Friesen. Friesen to Genev. Now the puck slides towards Barcheski, but it's taken by Jade Miller, last night's hero. Miller right wings the pass towards Pearson. Caleb Pearson gets around Bukata. Pearson regathers the puck in the right corner, skates around Utah's net towards the far side. Pearson now skates in a half circle. Will drop it for Boltman. Jake Boltman had 5 shots in the first period. He'll get it to the left corner. Miller taps the puck with Bukata. Now Miller gets up top, right side for Jardine. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. He missed the net glove side as he puts a dent towards the end boards. Genev moves it towards the Idaho line. Grizzlies stay on the ice. Friesen contemplating coming off. Now Friesen comes off, and Ness and Gansky enter. Pearson gets to the right side. Gansky taps it away from him. Gansky avoids an Idaho check. Gansky, the big 6'7" defenseman, gets ahead towards Ness. Ness gets the moving puck. They'll nudge it towards his right. Timofeyev over towards Ness. Ness gets held up by Charlie Dodaro. Dodaro pushes Ness towards the boards. Idaho will fire it off the far wing wall. Getting it is Malmquist. Malmquist dumps it in. Idaho wanted a penalty away from the puck, none to be had. Felton over to Ricketts. He's over along the near wing boards deep in the Grizzlies zone. Ricketts in the corner. Will throw it around his net for Felton. Felton one hands it towards Kovacevic, who gets hit in the back. And Kovacevic will slide it. It goes on its side like a spinning top deep in the Idaho zone. No icing. Grizzlies will make a full line change as the captain, Tyler Gratton, enters the ice. Towards center ice, Pelton Bice couldn't get it. Ricketts throws it back to Pike at the Utah line. He'll get it to center ice for Felton. Felton left wings it towards Kovacevic. It goes past him. Kovacevic will come off the ice. Grizzlies going with 10 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. Pelton Bice will throw it back towards Barcheski, where it's taken by Charlie Dodaro. He'll feed it to Jardine. Jardine off the glass. Puck wobbles in the air. Manning gloves it and drops it. Luke Manning will wobble it towards Barcheski. They were teammates last year. A handful of the Grizzlies who were here last season were teammates with Barcheski. As Pike zips it in. The puck ricochets off the boards towards Barcheski. And Barzo will roll it around the boards towards the end wall. Now the right side. Idaho gets it as the puck pinballs off a couple sticks. Studs will globe it into the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein gathers the puck. He'll get it to Pike 6 minutes into the second period. Utah leads 2-0. Ahead off the stick of Luke Manning. Idaho skates in front of Barcheski. Now falling down, getting back to his feet, Aiden Hershuk. Hershuk being shadowed like a hawk by Manning. Hershuk gets it behind his net for Jardine as Manning will come off the ice. He's replaced by Friesen. And Webster leaves, and Genev will take his place. Ports gets the puck near the Grizzlies bench. He'll zip one from blue line to blue line. Puck bounces, taken by Steinmetz looking for a toe drag, but he loses control of the puck as he had Aiden Hansen-Bukata nearby. Puck slides from one corner to the other. Kelly gets blasted by Steinmetz. Curry lumbers a Grizzly in the back, and that was Hansen-Bukata. Now Bukata battles with Ports. Both guys wear number 20. Ports comes out with a puck, and he'll throw it to the middle of the ice. Punt it, bobbles the puck. Now second pass shot goes just wide as Curry fanned on it. Didn't get good lumber on the pass from Punnett. Now the Grizzlies will move it out towards center ice. Ports gets it. Idaho's starting to assert themselves a little bit more. Utah's been a strong second period club this season. They've outscored opponents 11-7. Grizzlies will wobble it towards the right side. It goes off of Chris Dodaro's stick. Taking the puck is Friesen. Friesen races across the offensive line with speed. He'll drop it for Genev. Genev on the right side gets one round, one still. I tried to center it to Timofeyev, but too many stillheads in the way. Curry gets out towards center ice 1-on-4, and he'll sky it in. It's gloved and dropped by Kaiser. Stillheads will switch things up, and so do the Grizzlies. Both teams keeping their shifts pretty short. They know they're going to be pretty fatigued by the end of Sunday's game. Salem got blasted by a stillhead, and that's where the applause came from as Hoffman belted Salem. Now Salem gets the puck back. He'll loft it out to center ice. 2-on-1. Gillette gets bounced to the boards. Ness continues his battle with Hoffman. Hoffman pushes Ness towards the wall. Stillhead's starting to get physical. We get a whistle. 12-13's left in the second period. Interference is going to be the call, and who's it on? Anderson having some words with Gansky, and it looks like it's going to be a Utah power play when we come back. Matt Anderson gets 2 minutes for interference. 12-13's the time remaining in the second period. Utah leads 2-0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Utah leads 2-0. There's 12:13 left in the second period. It's the first of 4 straight road games for the Grizzlies. Obviously tonight and tomorrow afternoon here in Idaho at 4:10. And then the Tulsa Oilers will entertain the Grizzlies for 2 games next weekend. Grizzlies win the draw. They're in the offensive zone. They're on the power play as Anderson gets 2 minutes for holding. Webster dances around. He gets up top to Pike. Pike will backpedal towards his right. Now he'll slide it to the right corner for Ricketts. Now back up top to Pike. Pike moves towards his left. He's in the high slot. He'll take a lefty shot. He scores! Manning might have redirected it. The Grizzlies take a 3-0 lead. If it's not Manning that redirected it, it's Tyler Gratton. Gratton skates to the bench first. He believed he got a piece of the Pike shot. So with 11:54 left in the second period, Utah has 2 power play goals. Gratton believed he redirected the Garrett Pike shot as they scored stick side on Barcheski. Both Gratton and Manning were net front. Pike took the shot, and Gratton believed he got a piece of it. It looked like somebody did. Manning was out in front, and so was Gratton. So if the off-ice officials say that Gratton got the goal, it's the second of the game and 4th of the year. Utah now has 2 power play goals. We're back to skating 5-on-5. Utah leads 3-0. Head towards Kovacevic. He gets it knifed away by Jardine as Miller lofts it into the Grizzlies zone. Puck rolls along the wall. Hanson Buchanan collides with Pearson. Hanson Buchanan gets taken away by Pearson. Pearson throws it towards the middle of the ice. Backhand shot goes wide. So it looks like Tyler Gratton gets accredited with the goal. Garrett Pike's going to get an assist. We'll see who gets the other assist. For some reason, when the visiting team scores a goal, the PA announcer often likes to whisper as if nobody saw the goal that was scored. Utah goal scored by Tyler Gratton, assisted by Garrett Pike and somebody else. Hopefully you didn't see it. Obviously, you can't give too much enthusiasm when the visiting team scores a goal, but they kind of act like it never happened. Utah goal scored by Tyler Gratton. He now has 2 tonight. Idaho gets the puck. They're at center ice, and they'll sky it in. Kaiser lets it go off the end boards. Tried to overhear what the PA announcer said, but he was in a whisper. Charlie Dodaro gets tapped away by Kovacevic. Jack Ricketts got the other assist on the Tyler Gratton goal. That was 8:06 into the second period. Gratton's now got 2 goals. He's on hat trick watch. Idaho throws to the middle of the ice. Pearson righty shot. Blocker saved by Kaiser. John Gillette gets held up along his left side as Genev will float it. It's gloved and dropped by Punnett, who had to leap to keep it in. Now the Grizzlies get it, and clearing it all the way deep into the Idaho zone is Stepan Timofeyev. Make that John Gillette. Gillette comes off the ice. Kaiser plays it behind his net. We're about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes, and the Grizzlies have played some great hockey tonight. Punnett backhands it in. Kaiser behind his net will drop it for Hanson Buchanan. Buchanan long-range feed to Genev, and Genev backhands it to center ice. Punnett will whip it back around the boards. Buchanan in the area. Now Buchanan continues his battle along the near side. Now gets it towards Friesen. Friesen will skip it into the Idaho zone, and it's going to be icing on Utah as the clock freezes with 10:08 left in the second period. So we're at about the halfway point. Grizzlies got on the board on a power play goal by Stepan Timofeyev. He scored 7:50 in, and then later in the first period, Tyler Gratton from the left wing scored 15:09 in. Gratton redirected a Garrett Pike shot on Utah's power play. 8:06 into the second. Jack Ricketts also picked up an assist, and that was Ricketts' second assist of the season and second assist as a pro. Genev at center ice fires it over Barcheski's head. Barcheski so far has saved 8 of 11. Idaho out towards the far side. It goes all the way down deep in the Grizzly zone, and icing is going to be on Idaho as there's 9:48. That's the time remaining here in the second period. Make sure to join us tomorrow afternoon for the series finale. Pre-game coverage at 3:50 and face-off at about 4:10. It's a very, very rare Sunday game here at Idaho Central Arena. In fact, you think about tomorrow's game, it's going to be the 154th time, either in the preseason, regular season, or postseason, that the Grizzlies have played here. 154th and final regular season time. And it's only the second time the Grizzlies will play during on a Sunday. Right side, Boltman shot saved by Kaiser in the butterfly position. As Pike over towards the corner gets belted by Malmquist. Pike slides it across. Felton couldn't reach it. Puck goes to Neutrice. Cutting in front of Felton is Jake Boltman. Boltman's played a pretty good game for Idaho. He's been active throughout. Steelheads have had a tough time finding defensemen. They've lost a few over the offseason. Grizzlies move it ahead. Tyler Gratton on hat trick watch. He gets the puck 2-on-1. Gratton fires a shot saved by Barczewski. Gratton went low on Barczewski, and Barczewski made a stick save. Battle over in the left corner. Now it goes back over. Manning, Gratton in the area, but Idaho comes up with the puck. They'll tap it off the wall. Mitch Wall, no pun intended. WAHL Wall. He'll skate off the ice. Wall was a Grizzly for 2 seasons about 14 and 15 years ago. Anderson zips it ahead. As he still has, this crowd's silent. They're hoping for something good to happen to the home team. Idaho dancing around. Steinmetz in the offensive zone, left point across to Charlie Dodaro over to Arcuri. A fire lefty shot that goes wide. As Punnett fires to the net, he misses. As Kaiser moved towards his right to try to get it. Gillette battles Charlie Dodaro, now behind the net. Ports feeds up top to Steinmetz across the Punnett. He winds and fires. Stick save by Kaiser. Puck stays alive. Over towards the left corner. Ports gets pushed, and the Grizzlies bounce it up and out as it went over Punnett's stick. Punted ahead, and it's taken by Weinstein. Weinstein ahead towards Ricketts. Ricketts down the middle of the ice. Tried to split a double team, and it's tapped away by Punnett. Out across center ice, Curry steps over the offense line. Tried to almost overskated it. Got it back. Curry back behind Utah's net. Hanson Bukata pins Steinmetz towards the boards. Now a 2-on-2 scrum near the left corner of the Grizzlies zone as Kaiser looks over his right shoulder. Grizzlies come out of the pile with a puck. Ricketts gets rammed into by a Steelhead. Puck behind Utah's net. Hanson Bukata gets it. Bukata slices one rink wide off a Boltman skate. Hershuk back towards Curry near the Steelheads bench. He's at center ice. He'll push it back to Boltman at the Idaho line. Boltman left wings a pass towards Malmquist, who dumps it in. Malmquist has good speed. Hanson Bukata gets belted with a good shoulder check by Hoffman. Centering pass, lefty shot, saved by Kaiser. Now taking the puck is McDonnell. Angus McDonnell, the 20-year-old, over to Boltman, right side. Slap shot goes wide. As Hershuk, he fires towards the net, and Kaiser couldn't get a piece of it as the shot missed wide. Kaiser's got great agility. Dancing around, Hershuk, lefty shot, save. Rebound shot, saved by Kaiser again. Boy, he's been a brick wall so far. Hershuk and Hanson Bukata battle along the far wing boards. Ness will bounce off the chest of Hoffman, who keeps it in. Now the Grizzlies force it out. Hoffman tries to bully Ness. As the Steelheads back at Neutrice, he'll get it over towards Hoffman. Hoffman over towards Chris Dodaro, but a great poke check by Hanson Bukata. And now Hershuk rams into Ness. Hoffman and Ness collide at center ice. Chris Dodaro over towards Hoffman, who gets around Ness. 2-on-1. Hoffman at the righty shot. Glove save by Kaiser. He holds on with 6:28 left in the second. Boy, Kyle Kaiser's been unbelievable, and the Grizzlies have played some great hockey. Utah leads 3-0. 2 Tyler Gratton goals. He's on hat trick watch. Stepan Timofeyev's also found the back of the net. We're back in 1 minute on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Tyler Gratton leads Utah with 3 shots on goal. He has 2 goals. Draw's going to be over in the Grizzlies' zone left circle. And how about Kyle Kaiser? He stopped all 22 he has seen. He's been unbelievable. He's made some grade A stops here in the second period. Idaho wins the draw. Jardine helicopters one towards Kaiser, makes a body save. As over towards the left corner, Kanadi gets hit by Pike. Taking the puck is Rylan Kovacevic. He'll race out to center ice. Kanadi on the back check. And now Kanadi and Kovacevic collide. Friesen dumps it in as he rolls it towards the right corner. Miller throws it behind him, but Friesen takes control of the puck. Friesen gets back checked by Jardine. Miller joins the play. Miller pins Friesen to the wall. Felton throws it back towards the pile with Friesen. As now Charlie Dodaro will slide it ahead. They'll tap it off of Kanadi's stick, rolls into the Grizzlies zone. Pike runs it down. He's got Kanadi nearby. Kanadi rams himself along the wall as he tried to light up Garrett Pike's world. Christian Felton, the second-year pro, though he's officially listed as a rookie, he got in 20 games last year combined with the AHL and ECHL. Felton patient with the puck. He's behind the net, cutting towards the middle of the ice to Genev. Felton throws it towards Pike. Pike zips it out to center ice. It goes past Manning. And the linesmen say icing on Utah with 5:27 left in the second. So Draw's going to come back towards the left circle. And Kyle Kaiser, it's interesting, a few times a game, not only will he get in the butterfly, but he also will do the splits. You talk about agility, quickness. Kyle Kaiser's got it in bunches. You could tell why he's had plenty of AHL time in his career. Off the draw, lefty shot, or righty shot from the left wing. That's blocked away by a stick as Mitch Wall will feed it up top. And it goes past Hershuk, and it goes deep into the Steelhead zone. Closing the gap quickly is Reed Lebster. Hershuk gets there a stride ahead of Lebster, but Lebster showing some good speed. Rink wide feed to Bice, connects at center ice, and Bice will dump it in. Behind the net, Kyle Kaiser, wearing number 38 in his professional green jersey. He'll slide it towards the far goal line. Felton behind Utah's net. Grizzlies are wearing these green jerseys for the first time. They wore kind of a lighter shade of green. Now we get a whistle as Tyler Gratton was battling along the near goal line. Interference is going to be the call. And it looks like Idaho's going to go on the power play as Tyler Gratton gets 2 minutes for interference. 4:56 is left in the second period. Utah leads 3-0. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Utah's 2 for 2 on their power play. Idaho gets their second power play of the night. They're 0 for 1. Tyler Gratton's in the box. 2 minutes for interference. 4:56 left in the second period. More hockey in a moment.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
So Idaho will be on the power play for the second time tonight. Grizzlies' 4-man unit will include Luke Salem, Noah Gansky, Luke Manning, and Reed Lebster. And how about Manning? You talk about a guy that's taken a lot of the big face-offs. You should have gotten an assist on the Gratton first period goal. Ty Pelton Bice will take the draw for Idaho, and he's the guy that the Steelheads are going to be looking for. Idaho's 27th in the league on the power play, and that's partly because they missed his presence. Pelton Bice lefty shot. Saved by Kaiser. Boy, there's a battle out after the faceoff. Nick Ports fired to the net, and Kaiser making a glove save. 4:52 left in the second. Draw's going to be back in the left circle. Faceoff won by Utah. Salem over the corner with Gansky and 3 Steelheads. Luke Manning looks nearby with Malmquist. 3-on-3 scrum over in the corner. Lebster surveys. Now the puck squirts over to the left point. Now across to Boltman, right side. He'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked by Manning. And the puck ricochets all the way out towards the Idaho blue line. Luke Manning sacrificing his body as he blocked the shot. As Anderson over to Boltman, who races down the middle of the ice, now pushed to his left. Bice will tap one to his left for Anderson. Anderson around the net. Centering pass shot. Saved by Kaiser. That shot was taken by Pelton Bice, who's dangerous on the power play. Actually, looked like before it got to Kaiser, Salem blocked it. Salem's limping a little bit. Bice over the right side up top to Boltman. Jake Boltman will feed it to the middle of the ice. Anderson will nudge it towards his left. Lefty shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound shot hits the far post, and the Grizzlies clear it out. Boy, the iron unkind for the Steelheads. Gansky comes off the ice after clearing it. Still 3-0 Utah. Crossing center ice, Anderson over the offensive line. We'll get it up top. Hoffman gets around one Grizzly. Shot saved by Kaiser. Rebound towards the left corner. Crisadero over towards our Curry. Our Curry rolls along the boards towards the right corner. Ricketts runs it down. So does Felton. Ricketts trying to muscle his way around Hoffman. Now Ricketts will tap it off the boards. It goes towards center ice. Ness over towards Ricketts. Ricketts down the middle. He'll fake it towards Ness, but the whistle blows as Utah's called for offside with 3:27 left in the second. Idaho's had some good looks on this power play, and Kyle Kaiser and company's really responded. One of the big differences this season is the Grizzlies really have improved the penalty kill. They came into play 30 for 35 at a clip of 85.7%. 1 for 1 so far tonight, and they're in the middle of their second penalty kill. Draws it neutral ice, and it's won by Utah. Timofeyev splits a double team, dances around on the right side. Now rolled along the boards of the Idaho zone. John Gillette over in the left corner. He gets double teamed. Gillette just killing off some time. 18 seconds left in Idaho's power play. Our Curry gets the puck. He gets around Gillette and drops it back for Charlie Dodaro. Dodaro throws it towards his left, looking for Boltman as the Grizzlies built a wall at their blue line. Pike around the boards, up and not out. Now coming out of the box is Utah's Tyler Gratton, the captain. Gratton joins the play. Idaho has the puck left side. Sharp angled shots bounced off a Boltman stick. Now centering pass shot goes wide. That was taken by Hoffman. Utah's now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. Charlie Dodaro near the blue line fires the righty shot that goes past Kaiser and all the way towards the end boards. Looked like it might have gotten redirected on the way towards Kaiser. Over in the right corner, Idaho zips to the middle of the ice, and it's taken by Gratton. Gratton ahead looking for Gillette, and the puck is swept towards the far wing boards. Out at center ice, our Curry collides with Pike. Coming out with the puck is Christian Felton, who's in front of Kaiser's net. He'll nudge it towards the far side for Pike. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Ahead to center ice for Timofeyev. Make that Friesen off a Genev stick. Idaho enters from the left wing. Mitch Wall throws to the right. Pearson with a shot, and he scores. Caleb Pearson roofed it over Kaiser's left glove. And the Steelheads get on the board with 2:08 left in the second. And with that, one fish gets thrown on the ice here at Idaho Central Arena. And somebody in a blue shirt tosses it in front of Barcheski. Pearson fired away from the right side past Barcheski. Caleb Pearson gets his third goal of the year. Pearson played with the Belfast Giants of the EIHL over the last 4 seasons. He played his college hockey at Providence in the 2017-2018 season and American International College for 3 years from 2018 through 2021. The draw at center ice won by the Grizzlies, and Steinmetz broke a stick after the faceoff. Grizzlies dump it in. Friesen chasing after it with Hershuk. Now Pearson, the goal scorer, will nudge it towards his right. Punnett will sky it, and it bounces towards Kaiser. Kaiser lets it go towards the end boards. He raises his arm, as he said again, didn't get a piece of it, but no icing. Kovacevic will roll it towards center ice. Punnett collides with Friesen. Friesen went down. He's back to his feet. 1:41 on a moving clock. Second period. Utah leads 3-1. Genev over the offensive line, right side, and he'll drop it. Looking for Kovacevic. Kovacevic, big time hit, and Caleb Pearson's going to attack Kovacevic. As Kovacevic hit a Steelhead up high. Now Kovacevic in his second fight of the game drags down Caleb Pearson. Kovacevic with a high hit on a Steelhead. Kovacevic just coming off a 3-game suspension. Caleb Pearson yelling at Kovacevic. Rylan Kovacevic is going to skate towards the locker room. Kovacevic with a high hit on a Steelhead. And with that, Caleb Pearson went and attacked Kovacevic. Kovacevic in his second fight of the game. Remember, Utah is only rolling with 10 forwards already. So now it's down to 9 forwards for at least a few minutes. And I wonder with him going to the locker room if it's going to be the rest of the game. The Steelhead that was hit up high gets back to his feet. Let's see if we can get a number. That might have been, well, let's see. As punted. And it looked like it was Steinmetz, number 29. He got belted up high by, it was Steinmetz. Steinmetz, he's got 13 penalty minutes this season. He just got leveled by Kovacevic. They're not showing a replay on the video board, oddly enough, which makes you wonder, if they would have shown it, if maybe that would get the crowd riled up. As Kovacevic, he delivered a high hit on Steinmetz. Now they show the fight. As Kovacevic dragged down Pearson, and then Pearson was yelling at Kovacevic after both guys got back to their feet, but they're not showing the hit, interestingly enough. And I'm not even sure they're showing the hit on Flow Sports. And it was a high hit. It's one of those things you wonder. As it does look like what they show on Flow Sports is the same thing they show on the video board here at center ice at Idaho Central Arena. And Kovacevic, who's coming off a 3-game suspension, you just hope the league doesn't see anything. And the Grizzlies would potentially be down to maybe 9 forwards for tomorrow's game. Referee Nolan Blair talking with both teams. Blair's trying to keep the peace. Grattan isn't saying much, but Canadi always has a few words to say on the ice. Now Canadi puts his left palm in the air. If he puts both palms in the air, a 15-year-old would get excited because he'd be doing the 6-7 thing. So draw's going to be in the Grizzly zone. It's going to be a 5-minute major for Kovacevic, and Pearson's going to get 2 minutes. At least that's what the scoreboard says here at Idaho Central Arena. Faceoff's going to be in the Idaho zone. So we're going to skate 5-on-5, or is it 4-on-4? It's going to be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then a Steelhead will come out of the box in 2 minutes. Somebody's got to represent Pearson in the box. There's a minute 30 left in the second, so they wouldn't be coming out of the box anyway in this period. It'd be early in the third period. There's a minute 30 left in the second, so nobody's in the box for Idaho. We'll skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then after that, Idaho will have a 3-minute power play. We believe Kovacevic got a major, as he's got 5 minutes on the board. And it probably isn't for a fight either. Oddly enough, they never did show a replay of the Kovacevic hit on Steinmetz. Kind of makes you shake your head and kind of scratch it a little bit as to why didn't they show a replay of that hit. They showed the fight afterwards, though. Pelton Bice will take the draw for Idaho against Utah's Luke Manning. Manning's taking the majority of Utah faceoffs here this evening. Skating 4-on-4, Utah wins the faceoff. Grizz lead 3-1. Salem back in his own zone. They'll get it towards Manning. Manning down the middle of the ice. They'll skate around Kaiser's net towards the far side. He'll drop it off. Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. Grattan turns it over. Arcuri gets the puck at the right goal line. He's being shadowed by Salem. Arcuri gets up top to Boltman. Across to Anderson, back up top to Boltman. Boltman dancing around to the right point. And now he voluntarily goes out to neutralize. Tyler Grattan loses his stick. Boltman was in the area. Anderson comes up with it. Less than a minute left in the second period. As Idaho races out to neutralize, Boltman gets it tapped away by Grattan. Bolton gets it back. Anderson slides it across towards Boltman. Boltman, the Notre Dame and Northeastern product, gets it to the left side. Now Pelton Bice tried to curl one out in front. It's sticked away by Gansky. Arcuri feeds up top to Anderson. As Anderson over in the high slot, dangling towards his right. Anderson backpedals. He's now on the right point. He'll spin it along the boards. It goes past Manning. As the Steelheads reverse it back to the right side. Anderson over with Grattan. Grattan tried to clear it up. It went up but on out. Pelton Bice pass to Anderson. Shot saved by Kaiser, and he holds on. Well, good job by the Steelheads to get one in onto Anderson. Kind of a one-time tap off of Anderson's stick onto Kaiser. Was able to gather it before Anderson was able to get it back. Like Kyle Kaiser's done a great job controlling rebounds, and he's just been calm and cool, and he's just been everything the Grizzlies were hoping for here so far. 19.1 seconds are left in the second period. Idaho wins the draw. Charlie Dodaro, shot kick saved by Kaiser off his right pad. Reed Lebster will saucer it Airborne left side to Felton. Felton gets the puck. He'll stop in the left point. He'll bounce one off the shin of Malmquist. And Ness pass. Shot to score! Ness to Lepser to the back of the net. That's Griffin Ness's second main assist tonight. And the Grizzlies get a 4-on-4 goal to take a 4-1 lead. Boy, Griffin Ness has played some outstanding hockey as of late. He just patiently got the puck on the left side, centered it to a cutting Lepster, and the Grizzlies extend the lead. Ness has done some great stuff with the puck and without it. Felton will bounce it off a Steelhead onto Ness. Ness in the left circle found a cutter, and that was Reed Lepster. Tape to tape, and Lepster found the back of the net for the 6th time this season. So Ness, we know, gets his second assist of the game, and hopefully they will give an assist to Christian Felton as well. Puck is dropped. Rickett stumps it in. And this crowd is stunned here at Idaho Central Arena as the Grizzlies have 4 goals on 13 shots. Idaho leads the shot count 31-13. But it's the Grizzlies that have 2 main assists from Griffin Ness. He found Stepan Timofeyev in the first period, and he found a cutting Reed Lepster in a 4-on-4 situation late in the period. And we'll get the details on that one a little bit later as it hasn't been processed as of yet. Fans are already throwing chuck-a-pucks on the ice. As Ryan Anderson, the Grizzlies assistant coach, talking with Tyler Gratton. Those guys were with Reading together last season. Anderson, an assistant coach, and Gratton was their leading goal scorer. So the chuck-a-pucks are already being thrown onto the Idaho Central Arena ice. A couple years ago, Grizzlies got power plays twice when fans threw chuck-a-pucks on the ice during the course of play. We'll recap the first 40 minutes of play. Imagine we're not going to see Rylan Kovacevic the rest of the way. And the Grizzlies will be down to 9 forwards. But Utah's played some outstanding hockey tonight. They lead 4-1. And Tyler Gratton's got 2 goals. Griffin Ness with 2 great passes that have led to goals. And the Grizzlies overall have played some great hockey. And you can't forget about Kyle Kaiser. He's seen 31 shots through 2 periods. He saved 30 of them, and he's played some outstanding hockey tonight. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side as Utah leads this game 4-1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Well, the Grizzlies have played great tonight as they lead 4-1 after 40 minutes of play. Utah took a 1-0 lead, 7:50 into the first period, as Griffin Ness threw a cross-ice pass to the left wing, and Timofeyev on a one-timer with a laser beam at lifted past Jake Barcheski, glove side, and that was a power play goal, 7:50 in. Timofeyev is 4th of the year and 3rd as a Grizzly. Griffin Ness and Danny Genev each picked up an assist. And then 15:09 into the first, they should have given an assist to Luke Manning. Manning got to Lepster. Lepster was on the right side, fed it across to Gratton. The only difference between Gratton's goal and Timofeyev's is Gratton, instead of getting a one-timer, collected the puck and then just sailed it past Barcheski, glove side, 15:09 in to give Utah a 2-0 lead. Utah extended the lead on a power play goal, 8:06 in, as Gratton got his second of the game as he redirected a Garrett Pike shot Jack Ricketts also picked up an assist, and that was Ricketts' second assist of the season. Idaho got on the board, 17:52 in, as Wall fed a cross-ice pass to Caleb Pearson. Pearson got it on the right side and fired it over the left glove of Kyle Kaiser, and that was 17:52 into the second. That's the only goal that Idaho has scored so far, as Kaiser has saved 30 of 31. Grizzlies got back on the board on a 4-on-4 situation, and they should have given an assist to Christian Felton. Felton bounced the puck off an Idaho shin onto Ness. Ness got the puck in the left wing, found a cutting Reed Webster. Ness to Webster to the back of the net. That is the second main assist for Griffin Ness, and that's the third main assist for Ness in this series. Remember, he had the main assist to Timofeyev in the third period goal as Ness won a scrum along the right corner boards and then centered it to a cutting Timofeyev, who found the back of the net and gave Utah a 2-1 lead. And, Griffin Ness, what can you say? He's done it not only passing the puck, but he's also done it with just simply winning face-offs, winning battles along the boards, playing a strong two-way game. Griffin Ness has certainly been outstanding over the last 5 games. Looks like the penalties for Kovacevic, 18:30 into the second period. He delivered a Karl Malone elbow, according to the score sheet. A 5-minute major for elbowing, and then he got a fighting major with Caleb Pearson. Both Pearson and Kovacevic got a fighting major, and then Pearson got an unsportsmanlike conduct minor, and that's why Idaho's got 2 minutes on their power play. They'll have 30 seconds left on their on the 4-on-4 to start the second period, or start the third period. And then Kovacevic did get a game misconduct for elbowing, so he's been ejected from the game, and he just came back off a 3-game suspension. And with the nature of the penalty, the league's going to take a look at it. And I thought it was a little bit odd that they didn't show the replay of the hit on the video board. They showed the fight after the hit, but they did not show it. And I think on Flow Sports, it's the same feed that they show on the video board, and you'll kind of wonder, did they not show it because they didn't want to get the crowd riled up, or did they not show it because there wasn't as much there as originally thought? Either way, you do wonder if the league's going to take another look at it, and with that, the Grizzlies are already only skating 10 forwards tonight. Are they going to find a way to get Ty Voigt here on the lineup for tomorrow's game, or are they going to have to bring a Colby Enns in and maybe play with like 8 defensemen and 9 forwards or something to that effect? Adam Berg is on the injured list with a lower body injury, and Daniil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today. But nevertheless, it's just one of those things I thought was interesting. They do show replays of a lot of things, but they did not show the replay of that, which did lead to the 5-minute major and a game misconduct. And so we'll start the third period with a 4-on-4 situation for 30 seconds, and then Idaho will continue with the major power play for another 3 minutes. And with the major power play, obviously you can score as many times as you want. But Kyle Kaiser's been tough in net for the Grizzlies. He has saved 30 of 31. And obviously the lone goal was a Caleb Pearson shot. He was all alone in the right side and just put the puck in the perfect spot. Kaiser did a good job getting his glove up, but Pearson just put it in a perfect spot where Mama keeps the cookies, and obviously for hockey players, they like cookies, but not that much. And so Pearson, found the back of the net for the third time this season. That's the lone goal for Idaho. And for the Grizzlies, they've scored some pretty goals here tonight. Timofeyev and Grattan were all alone in the left wing. Grattan redirecting a pike shot, and Utah's power play has been dominant. 2 for 2 on the power play, and then the 4-on-4 goal as Ness found a cutting Webster out in front. So special teams have really played a factor for the Grizzlies tonight with the 2 power play goals and a 4-on-4 goal. Utah over the years have been a pretty strong team in 4-on-4 situations, and looks like that's going to continue onto this season. Both teams have a 5-on-5 goal here this evening, and it's kind of interesting to see both clubs with 1 5-on-5 goals. The Grizzlies have scored just as many 5-on-5 goals as their opponents so far this season. Think about Utah had 1 5-on-5 goal last night, and the opposition, the Steelheads, had 1 5-on-5 goal. So coming in and through 2 periods tonight, Grizzlies have scored 22 5-on-5 goals, and they've allowed 22 5-on-5 goals on the season. Penalty kill's been brilliant for the Grizzlies, and they're going to need to be brilliant here to start the third period if they want to maintain the 3-goal lead. When we come back to the intermission report, we'll go over some scores across the ECHL, and we'll also check in on those who are living the dream. We'll get some NHL scores in on the other side as well. After 2 periods, the Grizzlies have played some good hockey. They lead Idaho 4-1. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
After 2 periods, Utah leads 4-1. They're playing Africa by Toto, or at least I think Toto was the name of the person. Everybody's got their phone lights on, and they're just wiggling it back and forth. Kind of a fun scene here at Idaho Central Arena. Other scores from around the league. There aren't that many games in progress. In fact, there's just 1 game in progress, and there's 2 minutes left in the 3rd period. Actually, the game has just gone final as Tulsa defeats Allen 4-2. As Allen scored 2 third-period goals, but Tulsa scored 1 in the 1st and 3 in the 2nd. Tulsa 4, Allen 2. Toledo gets a 2-1 victory over Fort Wayne. The second goal for Toledo, the goal that turned out to be the game winner, was scored by former Grizzly Chad Hillebrand. Wheeling defeats Maine 4-1. Savannah gets a victory over Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 5-4. Kansas City defeats Wichita 3-2. The game winner was scored by Marcus Crawford 12:06 into the 3rd period. Tahoe defeats Greensboro 5-1 in the Jackson Hibbard-Colin Lee showdown. Hibbard, the equipment manager of the Night Monsters, and Colin Lee, the former Grizzlies athletic trainer. He's currently with the Greensboro Gargoyles. I imagine he has best buddies as we speak with the Spit and Chicklets crew, Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney. I'd be Colin Lee's best friend if I were those two. Reading defeats Adirondack 7-3. Jacksonville gets a 2-1 victory over Guy Carenza and Jared Youngman's Atlanta Gladiators. Dalton Duhart scored the game winner 3:33 into the 3rd period. Bloomington defeats Iowa 3-1. Rapid City gets a 2-1 victory in Fishers, Indiana, hometown of Mike Folta. Former Grizzly Ryan Wagner scored one of the goals for Rapid City. Wagner just recently had a 6-point game for the Rush as he's played some great hockey. He's their captain once again this season. South Carolina defeats Orlando 5-3. Worcester shuts out Trois-Rivières 2-0. Cincinnati gets a 5-4 win over Kalamazoo, and the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. There's no S in Greenville, yet somehow I always call it Greensville. Greenville defeats Florida 2-1. The game winner was scored by Ryan O'Reilly 18-16 into the 2nd. A lot of action in the National Hockey League. We'll give you those scores in 30 seconds. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Couple college football scores of local note. The Utah Utes get a 55-28 victory over Baylor. And after 1 quarter, BYU leads TCU 10-0. BYU is 8-1 on the season. They take on the 6-3 TCU Horned Frogs. And BYU leads TCU 10-0. But it's really a big day for BYU athletics as the Cougars take on UConn today. I think that game is played in Boston, and that game has gone final, and a heartbreaker for the Cougars. UConn defeats BYU 86-84, and I desperately pray that I've got that game recorded on my DVR. I certainly wanted to see that one. UConn gets a 2-point victory over the BYU Cougars in men's college basketball. Let's go over some NHL scores, as there's plenty of games. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, are not in action. The Avalanche will be back on the ice at 7 o'clock tomorrow night to take on the New York Islanders. And how about the Avalanche this season? They're 12-1-5, and if they could just figure out overtime, boy, they're going to be a force. They're going to be a force even if they can't figure out overtime. They've got a ton of firepower and superstars. The Utah Mammoth are off until Monday, where they take on the 11-6-1 Anaheim Ducks. The Mammoth are 10-7-1. They lost their first overtime game last night to the New York Islanders. Both the Grizzlies and Mammoth lost 3-2, and the Ogden Mustangs also lost 3-2 in overtime. And I can't get confirmation that the BYU-UConn game is being recorded. I'll have to watch that on Monday morning. I'm so happy about that. First intermission, no score between the Jets and Flames. After one period, the Sharks and Kraken are tied at 1. Games have gone final. No points for Charles Edward Dastu, but he played 18 minutes as the Lightning defeated the Panthers 3-1. Panthers, the two-time defending Stanley Cup champions. Wild defeat the Ducks 2-0. Bruins get a 3-2 victory over the Canadiens. Kings got a 17-save shutout from Anson Forsberg. LA defeated Ottawa 1-0. In overtime, Matthias Samuelsson scored the OT game winner 105 in. Former Utah Hockey Club forward Josh Stone had one goal as Buffalo defeats Detroit 5-4. In overtime, Edmonton got a game winner from Leon Draisaitl. That was 19 seconds into OT as Edmonton defeats Carolina 4-3. In a shootout, Rangers got a game winner from JT Miller. Rangers defeat the Blue Jackets 2-1. Chicago defeated Toronto 3-2. Colton Dock got the game winner 15:35 into the third. In a shootout, Devils defeat the Capitals 3-2. Alex Ovechkin had one goal for Washington as he just extends his goals record. He's got over 900 in his NHL career. Golden Knights defeat the Blues 4-1, and the Stars get a 5-1 victory over the Flyers as Jason Robertson scored 3 goals. One of them on the power play. A hat trick for Jason Robertson as the Stars defeat the Flyers 5-1. The Dallas Stars are the NHL affiliate of the Idaho Steelheads. When we come back, we will have third period action as Utah leads 4-1. We will skate 4-on-4 for 30 seconds, and then the Steelheads will have 3 minutes worth of a major power play. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Well, we're about set for third period action. We'll skate 4-on-4 for 30 seconds. And Idaho will have 3 minutes worth of a major power play. Grizzlies are wearing the dark green jerseys, the professional green jerseys for the first time. They unveiled those during warm-ups in last night's game. Grizzlies will start the third period with Garrett Pike, who picked up an assist on Tyler Bratton's second period goal. Pike's out there with Felton, Genev, and Evan Friesen. Idaho will start the third period with the four-man unit of Brendan Hoffman, Chris Dodaro, Sam Jardine, and Caleb Pearson. Actually, that's the both Daderos. Charlie and Chris out there with Hoffman and Sam Jardine. Idaho wins the draw. I need new glasses. Somehow mine have worn out. Idaho's back deep in their own zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the third period as we see it from section 203. Chris Tadero skates down Broadway, steps over the offense line, pushes the puck towards his right. Genev gets it off the boards. Danny Genev stops across the center ice, and he'll sky it towards Jake Barcheski. Barcheski lets it go towards the right corner as the puck kind of took a turn. And coming out of the box in 4 seconds will be a stillhead, and Idaho will start a 3-minute major power play. McDonnell was representing Idaho in the box, and he will skate towards the bench where he's replaced by Francisco Arcuri. Arcuri crosses center ice, and he'll zip it around the boards. Kaiser cuts it up behind his net. Kaiser will helicopter it all the way towards Jake Barcheski, who gets it off the wall. Barcheski, a former Grizzly, played 40 games with Utah last season, which led all Utah goalies. Arcuri crosses center ice, dangling back and forth left wing. He'll zip it around the boards. Puck goes towards Mitch Wall. Wall collides with Salem. Salem trying to box Wall away from the puck. Kansky joins the play. Lepser takes it, and he'll sail it all the way deep towards Barcheski. As the puck ricochets off a corner, Barcheski plays behind his net, and he'll outlet it to Anderson, but it was a short outlet pass. Anderson around Barcheski's net. Matt Anderson will move it to his left for Ty Pelton Bice. Bice over towards Anderson, who skates in. He'll take a shot and hits the crossbar, and Fly stays in play off the far glass. Puck goes out to Neutrice. Griffin Ness battles with Ports. Manning takes control of the puck. He gets knocked down. Manning back to his feet. Ports gets the puck and he'll throw it across towards the Idaho bench. Anderson one-hands it towards Bice. Now back towards Anderson. 1:48 left in the major power play as Rylan Kovacevic got a 5-minute major for elbowing, and he got a game misconduct as the Grizzlies spin it around the near wing wall. Anderson races in the Steelheads zone. He gets the loose puck. Anderson out across center ice will get it to his right. Steelheads enter. Centering pass off the stick. Malmquist over in the left corner gets there before Connor Kelly as the puck stays in play after flipping high into the air about 10 feet. Anderson to Boltman, who had 5 shots in the first period. Boltman back to Anderson down the middle. Anderson with a lefty shot and a save by Kaiser. Save. Pelton Bice fired it wide. Now back towards the right side. Bice over to the right wing. Dances around. Bice towards the right circle. Now back outside the circle. He gets up top to Anderson. Anderson over to Malmquist. Just outside the left circle over to Bice. One-timer goes wide. It might have kicked off the ankle of Hanson Bukata. Bice moves it towards his right. Steelheads dancing around. Now the puck slides back towards the blue line. Kept in by Boltman. Boltman over to Anderson. Less than 50 seconds left in the major power play. Boltman over to Bice. Right circle dangling back and forth. Surveys. Now lost control of the puck. He gets it back. He'll tap it off the skate of Gillette. And the puck slides into the Idaho zone. The Grizzlies get 4 fresh tires on their penalty kill. And Idaho will switch up skaters as well. Less than 30 seconds left in the major power play for Idaho. Punnett tries to split a double team. Now he moves to his right. Hoffman backs to Punnett on a give and go. Punnett slides it from one circle to the other. Arcuri battles with Ness. Now the Grizzlies try to knife it out to center ice, and they do. Ricketts gets held up by Hershuk. Puck slides towards Barcheski, who comes out of his crease, and he'll clear it towards the near wing wall. Hershuk races across center ice, gets it towards Chris Dodaro. Dodaro off the skate of Felton and goes back to neutral ice. Weinstein's representing the Grizzlies in the penalty box, and he's coming out. The major power play for Idaho's over. Over to Hoffman, right side shot. Saved by Kaiser off his right pad. Puck slides towards the left wing boards, which is the near side that the Grizzlies are defending in this period. Hoffman over to the near goal line. Arcuri back to Hoffman. Shot saved by Kaiser. Boy, good give and go there as Hoffman got it to Arcuri at the goal line. Then Hoffman cut towards the net. Arcuri found Hoffman, and Kaiser made the stop and was able to hold on without Idaho getting a second chance. 16-14 is the time remaining here in the third period, and Utah still leads 4-1. Grizzlies have been a strong defensive unit so far this season. They're scoring about as many goals as they've allowed coming into play tonight, averaging 2.7 goals per game and allowing 2.8. Idaho wins a draw. They get up top. Punnett will take a lefty shot. Blocker saved by Kaiser, and he holds on. Boy, Kaiser's done a good job seeing everything, including shots with traffic out in front. He's done a great job with his vision, just being able to see the puck. And Kaiser's done a great job controlling rebounds for the most part here tonight. 16:08 left in the third period. Kind of interesting when you think about the shot count. Idaho's out shooting Utah 33-13. Well, if you think back to last night's game, the Grizzlies outshot the Steelheads 44-26 by the end of the game. You know, Grizzlies had a team high in shots in last night's game, 44, and they only have 13 tonight, but 4 have gone past Jake Barczewski. As Grizzlies haven't necessarily gotten a high quantity, but they've gotten a good quality here tonight. Salem at the Utah line, avoids a check of Kanadi. Salem will sail it out past the glove of Manning, who tried to glove it to neutralize. Hershuk at the Idaho line, skates along the bench area, now moves to the middle of the ice for Miller, gets around one skater. Right side is shots blocked by Salem. Salem sporting a sweet mustache, and he will plop one deep into the Idaho zone. Puck hippity hops towards Barczewski, but it's taken by Hershuk about 10 feet in front of DJ Barzo, who I think does have a playlist they might play at some point here at Idaho Central Arena if they get a hold of it. Miller over to Malmquist, who races with momentum. Left circle, take a lefty shot, and it goes wide as he roofed it right over the right shoulder of Kaiser. Punnett centers it. Shot saved by Kaiser. As Punnett found a cutting Charlie Dodaro. Dodaro about halfway from the goal line to the blue line, fired a righty shot. Kaiser makes a stop with 15:08 left in the third. That was one of the fun things about Jake Barczewski. You know, if you have a party or a dance or something like that, he can put together a pretty good playlist. I imagine the Steelheads are going to play DJ Barzo's playlist at some point this season. Grizzlies roofing out the center ice, goes past Timofeyev, and icing is going to be on the Grizz as we have an even 15 minutes left in the third period. Both teams will be a little bit fatigued tomorrow evening. 4:05 is going to be the start time, and it's going to be extremely odd to see a Sunday game here at Idaho Central Arena. They certainly don't play all that many. Grizzlies, in their many visits here to Idaho Central Arena, have only had one Sunday game, and that was November 5th of 2006. Idaho defeated Utah 4-1. Guy with a long last name that started with a P that I can't pronounce got the lone goal for the Grizz. Brian Kanaswich was a -2 that evening, oddly enough. Idaho back deep in their own zone. It was the third game in a 3-3. There are 6 different teams this weekend playing a 3-3, and 5 of them, Kalamazoo the lone exception. Kalamazoo's playing all 3 games at home. The other 5 teams have to travel after one of the games. Action behind Kaiser's net as he looks over his left shoulder. Grizzlies come out with the puck. Hanson Bukata taps it off the near wing wall. Friesen over to Genev. Genev over the line, back to Friesen. Right side, he'll take a lefty shot, and it goes wide as he tried to fire it over Barczewski's right shoulder. There wasn't much room there. Rink wide feed angle left past Malmquist. Kaiser behind his net will drift it along the wall. Now over to Wall. Left side, he'll take a righty shot. Saved by Kaiser. Wall gets it back. He gets up top to Boltman. Boltman over to the right side. One-timer. And it bounces off the stick onto Kaiser, who sprawls towards his left, and he covers up. 14:04 left in the third. And Mitch Wall. He had all the time in the world in the left circle, dangling back and forth. He could have had a picnic and laid his blanket down and had a cup of coffee and a donut and maybe a sandwich. And he was just reading Kaiser and tried to go glove side, and Kaiser was able to make a key save. Kyle Kaiser continues to impress, even with action in front of him. Kaiser so far has saved 34 of 35. Grizzlies win the draw. Salem will ring it off the glass, and it goes all the way down for a Utah icing with 13:57 left in the third. And talking about Kyle Kaiser, he's a 26-year-old out of Coral Springs, Florida. Steinmetz, remember, he got the high hit from Kovacevic late in the second period. He's back in there. He's taking the faceoff against Jack Ricketts. Draw one by Utah as Gansky gets hit in the back in the corner. 2-on-2 scrum. Gansky shuffling his feet. Puck wobbles up top to Anderson. He gets it in the left point. He'll move it across to Boltman. Boltman dances around as he'll skate towards the right side. Boltman centers the Steinmetz. Lefty shot goes wide. Steinmetz didn't get good wood on it. Grizzlies get it towards John Gillette, number 24. Gillette gets back checked by Boltman. Boltman takes the puck away from Gillette. Ricketts has it in the offensive zone. He gets back checked by Anderson. Puck slides to the middle of the ice as Curry gets it for Idaho. Curry to Anderson left side. He avoids Ricketts' poke. Anderson over the offensive line gets triple teamed. He'll move it to his right. Now across off the board star Curry. Curry trying to center, and it kicks off a Felton skate. Back behind Utah's net. Ports feeds up top. Punta gets the puck in the right point. Fires a low liner that goes wide. Stick side on Kaiser. Hershuk back in deep. Curry trips up Felton, and Felton trips up Curry. No call either way. Pike over in the right corner. Gratton nearby as he delivers some lumber. Does Gratton on Ports. Idaho try to get up top, but they fan on it. Ricketts gets over to Gratton. Ice playing a little bit slow here tonight. Lepster will wobble one on towards Barczewski, who cuts it off of the near goal line. He keeps the play alive. As the Steelheads will bounce one across. Punt it over to center ice. It's off the Utah stick. It goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Kaiser behind his net. He's got blue shorts, which are colors of the Colorado Eagles. Miller right side shot, and that's blocked. And the Grizzlies clear it out to center. It's blocked by Luke Manning. Manning's blocked a few shots here tonight. Idaho gets it back in deep. Kaiser behind his net. Gets to the right corner. Kanadi feeds to the right circle, but it goes past everybody out to center ice. Everybody resets. Punt it. Grizzlies build a wall at the blue line. Rink wide feeds picked off by Lepster. He'll tap it to Manning. Manning gets triple teamed. Manning over in the right corner, and he gets thrown towards the boards and spun around as the Steelheads come back up with it. About 12 minutes left in regulation. Utah leads 4-1. Punt it over to Kanadi, who got a piece of it at neutral ice. It's deep in the Grizzlies zone. Kaiser rolls it around. Puck taps off the stick of Charlie Dodaro. He'll get it back to Sam Jardine. Jardine and Dodaro are a pretty old defensive combination that you would see in this league. Jardine's 32 years old. Charlie Dodaro's 33. Genev gets the puck, and he'll get it towards Kelly. Back to Genev. Over to Kelly as they continue to play catch. Kelly dumps it towards the left circle. Genev runs it down. And the Penn State product, first-year pro, whips it around the wall. Kanadi gets it towards Hoffman. Hoffman will nudge it ahead. Chase after it. He gets the puck. Hoffman towards the left circle. Take a righty shot. He scores. Brendan Hoffman snuck it under Kyle Kaiser. It's now a 4-2 game. Hoffman gets his 6th goal of the season. He was at the Idaho line, nudged it ahead about 50 feet, went and got it back. And then he got the puck, had momentum skating towards the left circle, bobbled it for a second, regathered it, and went low. And it went 5-hole right under Kyle Kaiser. So Hoffman gets his 6th of the year. 11:28 left in the third period. Grizzlies lead 4-2. Draws give me at center ice. Utah's got 2 goals from Tyler Gratton, Timo Feyev, and Lepster have each found the back of the net. Grizzlies dump it in. Nobody got a piece of it, though, as icing's on Utah's. Gansky tried to get it towards Jack Ricketts. Idaho got a second period goal from Caleb Pearson and a third period goal from Brendan Hoffman. Not sure if anybody's going to get an assist on the Hoffman goal. We'll check on that. Hoffman goal right now is listed as unassisted. Idaho wins the draw. We got a good crowd on a Saturday night. Boltman right side shot saved by Kaiser. He just corralled the puck with his blocker towards his right shoulder. 11:16 is the time remaining, third period. Brendan Hoffman scored a 6th of the year. Utah leads 4-2. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land.
Minutes, 16 seconds left in the third period. Utah leads Idaho 4-2. Grizzlies have 2 goals from Tyler Gratton. Reed Lepster has 1 goal and 1 assist, and Griffin Ness has 2 assists. Kyle Kaiser has saved 36 of 38 in net. Jake Barczewski making his Steelheads debut. The former Grizzly has saved 9 of 13. Utah wins the draw. Gratton gets to center ice. No lofted in. Gratton gets her about the same time as Jake Boltman. As Matt Anderson back deep in his own zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it from section 203, second of a 3-game set. Idaho enters 2-on-2. Chris Sedero will take a lefty shot. A blocker saved by Kaiser, either bouncing off his blocker or his right shoulder. Anderson throws it out in front, taps off a skate on towards Kaiser, covers up in front of the crease. He holds on with 10:50 left in the third. Same teams tomorrow afternoon at 4:10. It will be the final regular season game that the Grizzlies will ever play in this building. And that's certainly odd considering that we're only in mid-November. But with 8 teams in the Mountain Division and the Grizzlies playing just about everybody an equal amount of times, that limits how many times the Grizzlies will face pretty much the only team that they can bust to on the road. You could bust to Rapid City, but it's 10 hours in the middle of the winter. That could be pretty sketchy at times. Timofeyev crosses center ice, gets to Geneyev, back to Timofeyev. Timo trying to start to Freese, and it's taken away by the Steelheads. Idaho gets it towards the middle of the ice. Mitch Wall collects it for Idaho off the wall. Pun definitely not intended there. Hershuk, rink wide feed, angle left to Pundit, who taps it ahead about 10 feet towards the Utah line. Idaho resets. The Grizzlies do a good job building a wall at their blue line. Idaho gets through the wall. They throw it to the middle of the ice. Hanson Buchanan gets it for Utah. Geneyev will wobble one ahead, goes towards Friesen. Friesen collects it, gets around Punnett. Friesen towards the left circle, take a sharp angled shot that hits the side of the net. Friesen and Barczewski were teammates at the end of last season. We'll do a little bit of a number count to figure out how many Grizzlies are back from last season that's on the current roster, especially guys in the lineup tonight who played with Barczewski last season. Ricketts crosses center ice, gets it towards Gillette, who gets cut off by Jardine. Now the Grizzlies get it in deep as puck slides back up top. Gansky tried to reach it, and he couldn't. If Gansky can't reach it, nobody can with this 6'7" frame. Head towards Ness off his stick. Ness has 2 main assists this evening. Curry over the line with momentum. Skeets towards left circle. Take a shot. He scores. And we got ourselves a game as Francisco Curry went stick side and fired it under the arm of Kaiser. And just like that, it's a 4-3 game. Now Curry just skated with momentum towards the left circle, got to the lower part of the circle, and he just kind of fired it stick side, and Kaiser left a little bit of room. And as well as the Grizzlies are playing tonight, they've got to buckle down right here and right now over the next few shifts if they want to come away with 2 standings points. Things have been rolling pretty easily for the Grizzlies in the first 50 minutes of play, but right now, with 2 unanswered by Idaho here in the third period, Grizzlies have got to find a way to get a couple good shifts here to maintain the lead and maybe build on it. Utah could sure use an insurance goal right here. Kaiser's played a good game. Gratton down the middle of the ice, lefty shot, bounces off of Barczewski's body as the Steelheads will shovel it out to neutral ice. Felton will tap it off the far glass. Hand pass, though, is called, and the draw is going to be at center ice. 9:11 is left in the third period. Idaho has outshot Utah 41-14. Timeout on the ice. Grizzlies need some good shifts here after the 1-minute break. Utah leads 4-3 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Neutral zone draw, Grizzlies territory. Utah leads 4-3. The 2 unanswered for Idaho has made it interesting. Brendan Hoffman scored unassisted, 8:32 in, and then about 2 minutes later, Francisco Curry scored his 3rd of the year with Charlie Dodaro getting the assist. Charlie Dodaro has 2 assists. Neutral zone draw won by Idaho. They whip it around the top of the boards as Tyler Bratton, who's got 2 goals tonight, will shovel it up and out. Puck hitting the opposite center ice. Grizzlies need some good shifts here to get momentum back as Idaho is trying to climb back into this one. Lepster gets the puck on the right side. Take a righty shot. Kick save by Barczewski. Rebound goes past Gratton as he was occupied by Kanadi. Anderson with the puck. Barczewski has saved 11 of 15 for Idaho tonight. Steelheads get it out towards center ice. Hanson Buchanan back checks Malmquist, taking it to Kanadi. Kanadi down the middle, takes a shot, and a kick save by Kaiser off his right ankle. Puck goes out to center ice. Idaho resets. Salem comes on, so does Evan Friesen. The Steelheads under the offensive zone. Utah takes it away. Gratton gets it towards Lepster. Lepster runs it down. He collides with Boltman. Puck gets the top of the boards behind Barczewski's net. Kanadi comes back up with it. He gets it ahead. Jade Miller across the center ice, gets back checked by Friesen. Miller onside, puck off a couple sticks. Friesen will guide it out towards center ice. Hershuk across to McDonnell, who plays soccer. It kicks off his skate. Grizzlies get it back. Gansky to Salem. Salem over to Genev, left wing at center ice. Glances off of his stick. Idaho gets it back. Hershuk to punt it. It will tap it ahead about 5 feet. Racing is Brendan Hoffman. Skates over the offensive line. Tries to get around Salem. Salem took the puck away. Salem got tripped by Hoffman. That's going to be a penalty. Hoffman tripped it up Salem. Hopefully Salem's okay. He's on 2 knees. Brendan Hoffman. Hoffman kind of tapped Salem with a stick. Interference. Slashing is going to be the call, and Hoffman's probably hoping that Salem's okay. Salem back to his feet. They pat each other on the back. Salem's going to skate back towards the bench, and the Grizzlies are going to get a power play with 7:45 left in the third. Hoffman tried to muscle his way around Salem, and then as Salem got the puck, oh, you know what? Hoffman gave Salem a low blow. I think that's the second straight night where Steelheads given a Grizzly a low blow. It wasn't seen last night. That's exactly what happened. It wasn't a trip. It was Hoffman went below the belt. That works in WWE, especially in the Attitude Era, but it's 2 minutes here in the penalty box. Utah leads 4-3, and a Skip Carey would say, a little insurance. Insurance, huh? A little insurance won't hurt. Hey, English is tough sometimes, even though I got passing grades in high school. Grizzlies win the draw. They lead 4-3. Right side, Ricketts shot. Glove save by Barcheski. Boy, Pike got it towards an open Ricketts. He was at the top of the circle, right side, and Barcheski makes a glove save. That was 4 seconds into the power play, as Manning was able to win the draw. Manning will take the face-off once again. He's got Gratton to his left and Ricketts to his right. Salem, I believe, is going to be okay. He's just going to have to compose himself for a little bit. So he got hit south of the border. Idaho gets it. Boltman whips it to his left. Webster literally kicks it towards the far corner. Ricketts and a Steelhead overskate it. Now behind the net, Boltman gets occupied by Manning. Utah drifts it all along the near wing boards towards Pike. Pike dances around. Grizzlies skate from left to right in the period. Manning back to Pike. Pike over to Manning in the right circle. Manning gets it across off the Steelhead stick. It goes airborne. Gloved and dropped by Webster. Webster to Gratton. Gratton skates near Webster. Gratton on hat trick watch. Backhand shot goes just wide. Gratton with a good look fist. He was trying for his third of the game. Trying to go glove side on Barcheski. Idaho gets the puck. We get a whistle. Hooking's going to be the call, and who's it on? A few Steelheads can't believe it. Brendan Hoffman's yelling at the referee. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for Utah. Boltman looks up at the video board. He wants to see a replay. Hoffman sporting a mustache. He argues his case. I mean, he's got no argument in his penalty, what he did. So it's going to be 2 minutes for Boltman. Utah's going to get a 5-on-3 power play for 1:19. Oh, Utah's got to find a way to convert on this. As they show the replay on the Boltman penalty, it was right after the... And if that's what it was, Idaho fans probably have a little bit of an argument. Boltman did get a stick towards Gratton, but it didn't look like it impeded Gratton's process and progress that much. Utah needs to convert on this 5-on-3. Off the draw, Manning broke his stick. He's going to get a new one from DJ McFarland, the equipment manager. Manning gets his new stick. Webster over to Pike. Pike's over in the left point. Pike dances towards his right. He's in the high slot. Feeds to Manning with his new stick. Manning slides to the right goal line for Gratton. Back to Manning. Less than 7 minutes left in regulation. Utah leads 4-3. 5-on-3 power play for a minute. Manning over to Webster. He's in the high slot. Back to Manning on the right side. Manning trying to get it back towards his left. Idaho takes it away, and they'll sky it out to center ice. Manning didn't have much of a passing angle, but he tried to force one towards the left wing anyway. Pike over towards Webster over the line. He'll skate towards the right corner. He'll bounce one across. Ricketts gets it on the hop. He fires lefty shot and goes just wide. Idaho gets it off the boards, and Sam Jardine clears it out. Hanson Buchanan replaces Pike, and the Grizzlies will get 4 forwards on the ice. Ness, Genev, Timofeyev, and Friesen. Ness has the puck. He'll skate towards his left. He dumps it in as Ness avoided the check of Connor Punnett. A Grizzly goes down, and that was Friesen. Ness hacking away. Now Friesen gets the puck. Over towards Genev, right circle. Genev sides one out in front, trying to get to Friesen, and it went through everybody towards the left wing boards. Timofeyev in the high slot, quarterbacking this thing. And now one still heads out of the box, skating 5-on-4. Timofeyev over to Friesen, who trying to get it across to Genev. Idaho will move it up but not out. Hanson Buchanan keeps in. Backhands it to Genev. Back up top to Buchanan. He'll skate towards his left. He's down the high slot. He'll move it back towards his right to Genev. Genev fires towards the net. It got redirected and it goes just wide. Timofeyev back to Ness. Griffin Ness over in the left corner. Dancing around. He's at the goal line. Will skate in. Righty shot is sticked away by Anderson. And the Steelheads with a cross-country flight that goes all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Hanson Buchanan around his net. 7 seconds left in the power play. As Utah still leads 4-3. About 5 minutes left in regulation. Coming out of the box is Jake Boltman. And the Idaho fans to their feet. Salem over to Lebster as the Grizzlies still have a 1-goal lead. Blue line to blue line pass to Ricketts left wing. Ricketts tried to get it in but didn't get it in very far. Idaho comes back up with it. They'll plop one out towards Neutron. Gloved and dropped by Lebster. He tries to re-enter, and the Grizzlies are offside. 4:46 of the time remaining, third period. Utah's clinging to a 4-3 lead. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't have left my blood pressure medication at home. We got a barn burner here at Idaho Central Arena as Utah's clinging to a 4-3 lead. 4:46 of the time remaining, third period. Neutral zone draw after the Grizzlies were called for offside as the Steelheads won the draw. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Ty Pelton-Bice at his line. It's a tap by Gillette. Pelton-Bice gets it back. He's back after a 9-game suspension. He left wings out to Wall. It taps it off his stick. It goes deep in the Grizzlies zone. Felton over to Pike in the left corner. As Pike gets it towards Ricketts. Ricketts to Ness. Ness back towards Ricketts. Grizzlies have momentum. Ricketts towards his right off the boards for Ness. Ness fires towards the net. It goes wide as he tried to fire it past the right ankle. Barcheski. Ball over the offensive line. Throws to the middle of the ice. It's swept away by Gillette. Up, and it's taken by Ricketts. Ricketts will push it ahead towards Idaho ice. Boltman gets it. Grizzlies make a full line change. We're skating 5-on-5. About 4 minutes left in the third period. Pelton-Bice will backhand it in. Connor Kelly in his second game as a Grizzly gets rammed into by a Steelhead, and that was Steinmetz, who got hit up high by Kovacevic late in the second period. Miller has it flub off his stick. Webster gets the puck. He'll dangle across center ice, gets around Miller. Webster 1 goal, 1 assist tonight. Fires towards the net. Saved by Barcheski. As Webster got around one skater, got to the left circle and fired a shot towards Barcheski's chest. And the second-year pro out of Canisius in Michigan made the stop. Barcheski kind of came out of the top of the crease and tried to cut off the angle. Grizzlies have Manning out there. I'll take the face-off. He's got Lebster to his left and Grattan to his right. Up top is Salem and Gansky. Probably a couple minutes away from Barcheski coming out for an extra attacker. Idaho wins the face-off. They're in their own zone. Steelheads spread the ice. Grizzlies have 4 guys hanging out of neutral ice. Rink-wide feed to Steinmetz. He gets challenged by Gansky. Steinmetz, back check by Manning. Puck goes into the Steelhead zone. Jardine continues his back check with Manning. Jardine skates around Manning and around Barcheski. Pass out towards center ice looking for Steinmetz behind him, and Lebster will sky it back in. Charlie Dodaro, 2 assists tonight. 3:15 on a moving clock as he bobbles the puck a second or two as the ice is kind of playing a little bit slow tonight. Canadi gets it taken away at the Utah line. Friesen gets it. Friesen skates towards the right circle. Friesen dangles back and forth, takes a lefty shot. Rebound by Genev. Goes second look, goes wide. He kind of had a drive-by and didn't have much of a shooting angle. Pelton Bice will sweep one towards his right. Boltman over the line. Skates towards the right corner. He gets dragged by Weinstein. As behind Utah's net, Kaiser looks over his right shoulder. Idaho spins up top left point for Anderson. Barczewski comes off. Anderson towards the left goal line. Skates around Kaiser's net. Thought about a wraparound. He now has on the right side. Idaho's net's empty. Malmquist fires towards the net. It's redirected by a stick. 2:30 on a moving clock, third period. 6 Idaho Steelheads in the offense is on their net's empty. Boltman left side will take a shot saved by Kaiser. Friesen will move it ahead. It's going to be icing on Utah. No, icing's waved off. Grizzlies make a line change. Grizzlies get off the ice. Gillette enters. As the Steelheads right side get towards Anderson. Backhand shot saved by Kaiser. Utah fires towards the empty net. And it's blocked at center ice by the Steelheads. Smoke him if you got him. Utah's clinging to a 4-3 lead. Less than 2 minutes left. Idaho gets it in deep. A ricochets off the end boards. Ricketts will bounce it off our Curry. That hit off Curry's face. And our Curry will skate towards the bench as Ricketts tried to clear the puck, got some air under it, and ricocheted the puck off of our Curry's face. So Francisco Arcuri holding his face. He'll skate towards the bench. Arcuri will get looked at by the Idaho trainer. The faceoff's going to come back to neutral ice. Ricketts trying to clear it out and bounce it off Arcuri's face. So a little bit of a break for the Grizzlies. That's not offense's own draw for Idaho. So there's 1:51 left in the third period. Barczewski comes back on the ice for now, and I imagine if Idaho wins the draw or at any point gets the puck in the offense's zone, Barczewski will come back off. Barczewski now is standing about 20 feet in front of his crease. Ness will take the face-off against Hoffman. Draw one by the Steelheads. Barczewski's still out there as the Grizzlies push it back towards Idaho ice. Jardine gets the puck. 1:44 left in the third period. Grizzlies at one point led 4-3. Idaho scored 2 unanswered. Idaho across the center ice. Hoffman over the offensive line. Barczewski skates slowly towards the bench. Now he comes off. Back behind Utah's net as the Grizzlies laying on the ice, and that's Hanson Buchanan gets back to his feet. Ricketts gets the puck. He'll race towards neutral ice. Ricketts splits a double team. Steinmetz dives to cut off Ricketts' pursuit. Great play by Steinmetz. Jardine dumps it in deep. Runs after the puck and gets it. Feeds up top. Right side shot. And it's blocked by Kaiser. Ricketts fires towards the empty net, and it's going to go wide as it went towards the near post and just missed along the near side. Icing's on Utah with 1:04 left in the third. Boy, both teams are making some outstanding plays here tonight. Steinmetz at center ice cut off Ricketts' pursuit, and Steinmetz didn't get a piece of Ricketts at all. That was an outstanding effort. Since Utah got called for icing, looked like they wanted a timeout. Utah's calling. They want a timeout. Nolan Blair's not letting them call timeouts. Grizzlies can't believe it. Idaho wins the draw. Boltman has it on the left side. Gets it towards Malmquist. Back up top to Boltman. Boltman across to Anderson. He's on the right side. Less than a minute left. Idaho's net's empty. Smoke him if you got him. Malmquist to the left side. Gets to the goal line for Ports. Back to Malmquist. Across to Boltman. Now over to the right side. Swing and a miss as they try to get it towards Caleb Pearson. Anderson slides it towards his right. Boltman. Over to Bice. Back to Boltman. He'll take a shot and it's blocked. It's blocked by Ness. Anderson over in the left point. 35 seconds left. Utah leads 4-3. Malmquist gets the left goal line for Ports. He'll feed it across. Puck bounces around. Kaiser's on his backside. Idaho's hacking away. Nolan Blair looks on the referee and he stops play with 26 seconds left. And Kaiser and the Grizzlies have saved the day for now. And now it looks like Christian Felton's in a wrestling match with the Steelhead. As an Idaho player got up heated, he wanted to go after Felton. And at this point, you're probably hoping that somebody on the other side loses his cool and draws a penalty. Caleb Pearson pushes Christian Felton in the back. And Nolan Blair says that's unnecessary. Blair probably doesn't want to call a penalty at this point. But Caleb Pearson, he's had a couple instances here where he's kind of done some things after the whistle. Did so last night as well. So draws give me the Grizzlies zone. 26.6 seconds left. Idaho's outshot Utah 44-18. But the Grizzlies with 4 goals on 18 shots. Utah did a great job protecting their house. Can they find a way to close it out? 5 on the ice for the Grizzlies. John Gillette out there with Manning. Manning will take the face-off, and it looks like timeout's going to be called. Timeout, Idaho. Ryan Anderson, the Grizzlies assistant coach, has a clipboard out. They probably want to talk about, they wanted to use their timeout before during the last whistle. That might have been what they were wanting to talk about. John Buchanan's talking with his unit. John Buchanan, one of those sticklers who loves talking about the defensive fundamentals. And he's a great defensive coach. Luke Manning's probably going to take the face-off for Utah. This is the time of game where you find out easily who the coaches trust the most, because they're going to be on the ice right here and right now. For the Grizzlies, it's protecting the lead. You might have a little bit more of a defense-type unit. And the guys that Buchanan trust defensively. And for the Steelheads, obviously, you're talking about your 6 best offensive players. They're going to be on the ice right now if you can help it. Manning's going to take the face-off against Ty Pelton Bice. 26.6 seconds left in regulation. Utah leads 4-3. Draws in the right circle, and it's won by Idaho. Pinballs off a couple sticks. Time's on Utah's side. 20 seconds left. Scrum over in the right corner. Puck goes up top. Idaho gets it. Anderson over to Boltman on the left side. Boltman fires a righty shot that goes wide. Bice forces one out in front. Kicks off a skate and off a stick. And Kaiser covers up with 9 seconds left. And Gansky gets aggressive with a Steelhead. Oh, I think a penalty is going to be called on Gansky. He's going to get 2 minutes for roughing. 9.5 seconds left in the third period, and Gansky is going to get the gate towards the penalty box. Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, is going to skate towards Nolan Boyer, the referee. Gratton argues the case, but Gansky goes to the box. 6-on-4, Idaho's net's empty, but there's 9.5 seconds left in regulation. Can the Grizzlies win one face-off and get one clear? If they can do so, they'll get 2 standings points here tonight. Manning will take the face-off for Utah once again against Ty Pelton Bice. Some fans to their feet. Gratton will skate off. Reed Lubster on the ice replaces Gratton. Kelly and Pike are the 2 defensemen on the ice for Utah. Idaho wins the draw over to the right side. One-timer goes high up over the crossbar. 5 seconds left. Pearson gets over to Anderson. 2 seconds left. He fires towards the net, and that's blocked. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win 4-3, and there was no doubt about it. Tyler Gratton scored 2 goals. Griffin Ness had 2 main assists, and the Grizzlies come through. Idaho put a fight till the end, but they ran out of time as the Grizzlies come away with the 2 standings points as they get their 5th victory of the season. How about Kyle Kaiser? He saved 41 of 44. He hung in there strong, and the Grizzlies come through with the 2 standings points to even up the 3-game series. Idaho won 3-2 in overtime last night, and tonight the Grizzlies buckled down defensively over the last couple minutes when they needed to the most. And Kyle Kaiser gets his 2nd victory as a Grizzly, and Utah goes to the locker room happy. Sunday's going to be a rubber match at 4 o'clock as the Grizzlies get the victory 4-3. The captain, Tyler Gratton's the hero with 2 goals. The game winner was Utah's 4th goal of the night. And Dylan Wells and Kyle Kaiser will walk off the ice victorious as the Grizzlies get the 2 standings points. Lebster got the game winner, and that was a 4-on-4 situation as he scored 19:56 into the second on a great pass from Griffin Ness. So Lebster with the game winner. He now has 6 goals on the season. And let's see who the 3 stars of the game are. We'll give you those on the other side here to start the postgame show. Once again, the final from Idaho Central Arena. It's Utah Grizzlies 4 and the Idaho Steelheads 3. Postgame show starts in 30 seconds on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Well, it's a victorious game here at Idaho Central Arena for the Grizzlies. They come away victorious. We could start that segment over again, just kind of roll it along. Utah wins 4-3. Stepan Timofeyev got the party started for Utah. He scored a power play goal, 7:50 in with Ness, and Genev gave the assist as Timofeyev scored on a one-timer from the left circle. Grizzlies extended the lead. 15:09 into the first period. Gratton got his third of the year. Lebster picked up the main assist. Gratton scored from the left side on kind of a wrist shot pass, Barczewski glove side. Utah led 2-0 after one period. Idaho outshot Utah 13-9 in the first period. In the second frame, Idaho outshot Utah 18-4, but the Grizzlies outscored the Steelheads 2-1 in the period. Tyler Gratton redirected a Garrett Pike shot, 8:06 into the second period. The captain got his second of the game and fourth of the year. Pike and Ricketts picked up the assists. Idaho got on the board as Caleb Pearson was all alone on the right side, and he fired it over Kyle Kaiser's left glove. Pearson got his third of the year. Mitch Wall and Charlie Dodaro picked up the assists. And then we were skating 4-on-4 as 18:30 into the second period. Rylan Kovacevic hit Steinmetz up high. Kovacevic ended up fighting Caleb Pearson. Pearson got a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as well as 5 for fighting. Kovacevic got a 5-minute major and a 10-minute and a game misconduct, so he was ejected from the game. And during the 4-on-4, there was 4 seconds left in the second period. Felton bounced one off the shin of an Idaho Steelhead player onto Griffin Ness, who was over in the left circle. Ness found a cutting Reed Lebster. Ness to Lebster to the back of the net. And that made it a 4-1 game, and that turned out to be the game winner. Idaho scored twice in the third period as Brendan Hoffman scored unassisted from the left wing, 8:32 in. And then from the left side, a little bit more towards the goal line, a little bit lower down. Our Curry scored 10:24 in. It's his third goal of the year, and Charlie Dodaro picked up the assist. Idaho really did what they could to try to tie the game. They outshot the Grizzlies 13-5 in the third period, and overall, the Steelheads had a 44-18 edge in the shot count, but the Grizzlies buckled down defensively when they needed to the most, and they came away with the 2 standings points. Utah was 2 for 4 on the power play, and Idaho was 0 for 3. So the special teams did play a factor, and it was in the Grizzlies' favor here tonight. And what can you say about Kyle Kaiser? The box score will say he saved 41 of 44, but he made some grade A saves in both the second and third periods, and he earned the victory for Utah. As he goes to 2-0 on the season, he stopped all 29 shots he saw on November 7th against Wichita, and Kaiser was outstanding in net as he goes to 2-0 on the year. And if you combine the 3 appearances with the Colorado Eagles, Kaiser's now 4-1 with both the Eagles and Grizzlies this season. Let's see if we can figure out the 3 stars of the game. Third star is Charlie Dodaro of the Steelheads. He had 2 assists. Second star is Kyle Kaiser. The Grizzlies goaltender saved 41 of 44. And the number 1 star is the Grizzlies captain, Tyler Gratton, who had 2 goals. He was a +1. He had a couple good looks for his third of the game, but missed the net wide on Barczewski both times. Former Grizzly goaltender Jake Barczewski made his Steelheads debut tonight, and he saved 14 of 18. Grizzlies in total had 39 penalty minutes, and Idaho had 20 penalty minutes, and it was the penalty kill certainly played a big factor in the Grizzlies' victory here this evening. Well, oddly enough, most of the time on a Saturday night, when the Grizzlies play the Steelheads, you have to pack up and get on a bus and head home because normally you don't play on a Sunday here. But the Grizzlies will hang out here tonight and then play at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. It's only the second time in Grizzlies Steelheads history that Utah will play here on a Sunday. The only other time was on November 5th of 2006 in a game Idaho defeated Utah 4-1. It will be the rubber match. Utah has picked up 3 out of a possible 4 standings points here in this series. This starts a stretch of 4 straight road games. Obviously, tomorrow afternoon will be the second of 4 on the road, and then the Grizzlies will be at BOK Center next weekend to take on the Tulsa Oilers. Fans are filing out of here at Idaho Central Arena, and it was a pretty good crowd of 5,176. What can you say? Grizzlies have played some great hockey. You got to credit Idaho for making a comeback bid tonight, but the Grizzlies held strong and came away with the 2 standings points, and it kind of feels like that's the way things are going to be for the Grizzlies all season. They're just going to play 1-goal type of games. They're just going to play those type of contests that are going to test your blood pressure. It's going to test your health all season long. There's no question about it. But the Grizzlies came through tonight and picked up the 4-3 victory. Utah was a little bit shorthanded, and if you joined us late, Neil Shea was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles earlier today. So the Grizzlies were rolling with 10 forwards and 7 defensemen. We'll see what the lineup looks like tomorrow as the Grizzlies will take on the Steelheads in the rubber match of a 3-game series. Well, that'll just about wrap things up. We're having a good time here at Idaho Central Arena, and it looks like instead of getting on a bus as normal on a Saturday night, I guess we'll find something to do, and we'll get ready for Sunday afternoon's affair at 4:10. Pre-game coverage will be at 3:50 in the Mountain Time Zone as the Grizzlies look for a series victory over the Idaho Steelheads in the final regular season meeting for the Grizzlies here at Idaho Central Arena all time. And that's regular season. Who knows? Maybe both teams will meet in the playoffs. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We know there's a lot of sports and entertainment options out there. We thank everybody for choosing the Grizzlies this evening. Once again, in 2 hours and 33 minutes, and in front of a good crowd of 5,176, Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, scored 2 goals. Griffin Ness had 2 main assists, and Reed Lebster scored 1 goal and 1 assist. His goal, with 4 seconds left in the second period, turned out to be the game winner, and the Grizzlies got a great performance from Kyle Kaiser, who saved 41 of 44. Next broadcast of Grizzlies hockey will be tomorrow afternoon. 3:50 pregame show, 4:10 face-off. I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.